is going to be. He gets away from one tackle. Lefty's still running. Cuts back up. Lefty's still on his feet. Lefty's still on his feet. He's down the sideline. He's headed for pay dirt. Touchdown, Dragons! And back here at Signal Mountain High School, where we're getting set for round one of the TSSAA playoffs, where, folks, it's win if you want to stay in. And, of course, this one, a big one tonight between York and Signal Mountain. These two teams coming here. Gary, York comes in 8-2. Signal Mountain, a deceptive 6-4.
Really, they are, Gary. You know, they've had a couple of injuries, probably most prominent their quarterback, and he's been back, and they've been on a winning streak since, and have played, you know, some competitive opponents close and lost a couple of close games to some quality teams. So they're going to be a very formidable opponent tonight for York.
And, of course, York coming in here after winning last year. They blew them out at York last year, 42-21. Now, that was their first ever meeting. It was the first round of the playoffs. And as we said, York and Whitwell have only one common opponent. Whitwell, the only common opponent, York and Signal Mountain have, but York scrimmaged them this year, and Signal Mountain lost to them 28-27. This year, Gary, Signal Mountain, as we mentioned, went 6-4. They won 6 in a row, though, and 7 of the teams they played are in the playoffs, including their 4 losses.
Yeah, and, you know, you talked about Whitwell. They lost a 28-23 game to them. Well, Whitwell's the number 2 team in state in Class Single A, so, you know, and they're 10-0 on the season, so, you know, that's one of the quality opponents they've lost a game to, but yeah, it kind of speaks, you know, their record speaks for itself. They played a lot of playoff teams, and every team that beat them is in the playoffs, so that says a lot. And York's got to come ready to play, and, you know, the blocking's got to be right. You got to win the line of scrimmage, and you got to be able to move the ball through this wing T and on the ground, Gary.
Gary, also we mentioned the playoff, the record for Signal Mountain. If you look at York, 6 of the 10 teams they played are in the playoffs, including the 2 they lost to, which is number 4 Upperman, and let's see, I think they were ranked number 15, Sequatchie County, was York's 2 losses, so they face some good teams as well. And York averages scoring 34.6 points per game, and they have 346 on the year. They allow 13.4 per game. They've allowed 134 points on the season. While Signal Mountain comes in, they've scored 239. They average 23.9. And they allow 159 points, 15.9. So if you look at stats, Gary, this is pretty much even.
Really it is, and, you know, just looking at warm-ups, they're pretty athletic, they're fast, they're probably going to move to the ball quickly. That's why it's going to be that much more important that York win the line of scrimmage and be able to get behind the blocks and move the ball on the ground, Gary.
We mentioned, Gary, you mentioned Whitwell being in the single A. They are number 4 in single A. Gordonsville sitting at number 8 in Class Single A. Oneida in Double A is at the number 10 slot. In Triple A, surprise, surprise, Alcoa number 1. Red Bank, who is tonight hosting Smith County, you have to kind of give the edge to Red Bank on that one, is sitting at number 3. Upperman's number 4. They are hosting tonight. Let's see. Upperman is hosting Loudon tonight, and that'll be the winner. This game will get the winner of that game. York is number 12, Sequatchie County 15th, and in 4A, Stone Memorial sitting at the number 9 slot this week.
Yeah, a lot of ranked teams in the area, you know, but you kind of start whittling those down now, Gary. You get into the playoffs here, and certainly a lot of these teams you mentioned will be favorites tonight, and, you know, the opening round. But it gets tougher as you go on, as everybody knows, and York with quite a challenge tonight, I think.
And the motto is, you got to win to stay in.
Win to stay in, or win or go home, you know, and it's sudden death now, Gary.
And there's no tomorrow. If you don't win tonight, there is no tomorrow. And if York can come up with a win tonight, or whoever wins this game, Gary, are going to will probably go to Upperman. I'm not taking away from Loudon, but I don't think Loudon can go into Upperman and sting the Bees.
No, and, you know, almost certain that you're going to be traveling to Upperman next week for a second-round game, and we've done that this year. Hopefully we come out and play a little better first half than we did when we went down there if we win tonight. You got to win tonight first, though. If you don't win tonight, you know, you can't worry about next week.
Well, let's take another break, and then we'll be back with Dennis and the guys taking a look at last week's action and this week's preview right after this.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the parent-teachers group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
The regular season finished with a flurry on Friday night as a full slate of region games set up the final standings. The end of the regular season spells the end of the year for some teams and the start of the second season for others. I'm Dennis Weaver of Friday Night Thunder. Give us 3 minutes and we'll look at the highlights for the teams in the Friday Night Thunder network area and contests statewide. This is the Friday Night Thunder Week 11 Rewind. In Region 4-3A, York Institute buried Cannon County, Upperman scalped Sequatchie County, and Smith County stung Grundy County. In Region 4-2A, Westmoreland court-martialed Cascade, Trousdale County drilled Jackson County, and Watertown mauled East Robertson. In Region 5-2A, Forest nailed Community, Eagleville beat Summertown, Columbia Academy bridled Loretta, and Lewis County took the week off. In Region 5-1A, Fayetteville tamed Franklin Grace, Hotland spoiled Richland, Mount Pleasant edged Moore County, and Cornersville had the week off. In Region 3-6A, Coffee County wasted White County, Oakland battered Warren County, and Cookeville shot down Siegel on 3 Thursday night games. Blackman blanked Riverdale on Friday night. In Region 5-6A, Overton messed up Antioch, Stewart's Creek washed over Laverne, and Smyrna bullied McGavock in region games. In non-region play, Cane Ridge went on the road and clipped Ray County. In Region 5-5A, Shelbyville clawed Franklin County, Page turned Columbia, and Summit won in the pit against Lincoln County on Thursday night. White County dropped a non-region game to Coffee County. In Region 4-4A, Maplewood won the cat fight with Tullahoma, Nolensville knighted Marshall County, and Spring Hill shocked Lawrence County. Elsewhere in Middle Tennessee Christian got a big come-from-behind win on the road at Chattanooga Grace. Springfield topped Creekwood, Mount Juliet outlasted Hendersonville, Riverside crushed East Hickman, and Lebanon deviled Rossview. In West Tennessee, MUS got the rivalry win over Christian Brothers, Fairleigh dumped Douglas, Peabody smoked Adamsville, Greenfield toppled West Carroll, Germantown stopped Whitehaven, Lake County crushed Trinity Christian, and Milan shot down South Gibson. In East Tennessee, Fulton nuked Oak Ridge, Alcoa canned Austin East, Claiborne kept their season alive with a win at North Green, Clinton bested Carnes, McGavock sailed past Hardin Valley, Johnson County gored Unicoi County, South Pittsburgh looted Lookout Valley, and Polk County cut down Marion County. That does it for the Friday Night Thunder Week 11 Rewind. This has been Dennis Weaver for Friday Night Thunder. The second season begins this week as Tennessee high school football teams enter the playoffs. 230 teams begin the quest for one of 9 state titles as it's time to win or go home. Hey folks, Dennis Weaver here at Friday Night Thunder with your Week 12 preview. We begin our preview in the Friday Night Thunder radio network area as Smyrna host Independence in a rematch of last season's first round matchup in 6A. Also taking part in rematches from last year's opening round are York Institute as they travel to Signal Mountain in 3A, and Decatur County Riverside, who will host Eagleville in 2A. Shelbyville will play host to Gallatin in a rematch of the second round matchup from last year in Class 5A, and Huntland will make the long drive west on US 64 to take on Wayne County in 1A. Tullahoma returns to the playoffs for the first time since 2014 as they play host to Livingston Academy in Class 4A. Elsewhere in Middle Tennessee in Class 6A, Riverdale travels to Sumner County to take on their old rival Hendersonville. In Class 4A, Macon County hosts Nolensville, while Creekwood travels to Jackson Southside and Montgomery Central host Hardin County. In Class 2A, Trousdale County welcomes Marion County to the Creek Bank, and Westmoreland travels to Polk County. In Class 1A, Mount Pleasant hosts Collinwood, and in Division 2, Middle Tennessee Christian welcomes Jackson Christian to Murfreesboro. In East Tennessee, Oliver Springs travels to Hancock County in Class 1A, while Cloudland plays host to Midway. In Class 4A, Sullivan South makes the long journey to Chattanooga to take on the Pounders of Central. In a trio of great matchups in Class 5A, South Doyle's host in Tennessee, Cott County visits Fountain City to take on Knoxville Central, and Clinton visits Soddy Daisy. In Class 6A, Maryville hosts Bearden in maybe their toughest first-round game in a decade, and Hardin Valley visits Ooltewah. In West Tennessee, Cordova hosts Memphis Central in Class 6A. In 5A, Dyer County visits Ridgeway. Unbeaten Dyersburg plays host to Memphis East in Class 4A, while Ripley travels to Millington. In Class 3A, Melrose visits unbeaten Covington, while Raleigh Egypt hosts McNary Central. In Class 2A, Trinity Christian visits Mitchell. Union City hosts Douglas, and Gibson County visits Fairleigh. In Class 1A, West Carroll travels to Hillcrest, and Greenfield hosts MASE. That does it for the Friday Night Thunder Week 12 preview. You can keep up with all the scores across the state all postseason long on our popular statewide scoreboard, available at our website, FridayNightThunder.com. And while you're there, you can find the link to listen to our post-game show, which airs 9:30 to 11 Central Time each Friday night through the third round of the playoffs. This has been Dennis Weaver for Friday Night Thunder.
It's football time on the mountain. At Progressive Savings Bank, we know running your small business is a lot like coaching a team. You call the plays that drive your business towards success, and we're your number one fan. After all, you provide the products, the services, and jobs that keep our local economy moving forward. We partner with small businesses to help you reach your financial goals with free business checking and flexible financing to help operate and grow your business with the right financial equipment to keep you in the game. This is Mark Justice wishing our York Dragons a successful football season. We are proud once again to sponsor Dragon First Downs. Progressive Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And back here, we just had the toss of the coin, and Gary, it looks like the Signal Mountain Eagles have won the toss, and they weren't received.
Actually, did they? I thought York may have won the toss and deferred, but they are receiving. Signal Mountain is going to receive to begin, so York will be kicking off.
The official patted them on the shoulder, and usually I think that means it is. But anyway, okay. Gary, this is a huge game. The winner of this one goes on, the loser goes home. So you got to win to stay in, and this one's going to be a huge, huge ball game.
It is going to be a huge game, Gary, and certainly, somebody's season's going to come to an end, and I believe we have two pretty quality football teams tonight, too, and so a good team's going to go home for the year, and that's all the more reason York's got to come out and execute. It's going to be about line of scrimmage, executing the blocks, and being able to establish the running game and move the football.
Well, Gary, it's cold enough out here tonight. It's as cold as Ariana Grande's feelings for Pete Davidson right now, but we got that's going to affect this game. That'll make a difference. Who can handle the cold and who can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mental factor, Gary, and, you fight through the mental things as much as you do the physical sometime, and, the cold's going to be a mental thing. I don't know about Signal Mountain, but York has not played a cold weather game.
That's true. Now, last week, Signal Mountain played in that downpour. They said they had rain blowing sideways last week when they played up here, and we'll take the cold over the rain any day.
Yeah, we will, and, we're hoping for no rain with this cold tonight, actually, so we're optimistic that we'll miss that anyhow.
Big thank you to our game time sponsors as we get set for football action. And I think they just gave the wrong coach for York. I think they gave former coach Derek Sambers the head coach. And Will Derwin's going to be happy about that one when his game gets started. So we're ready to get this one underway. It looks like dropping back for Signal Mountain. I can't see the numbers from here, Gary. You're going to kick it off. They'll be kicking from the left to right on this one, and it'll be back. You got a couple of players back deep.
Number 5 and number 14, that'll be Travion Williams. Number 5 and 14 looks to be Braden Kasner
back along with them, and it'll be Johan West to kick it off. Time to line them up, kick it off, and get it on. It's round one of the TSSAA playoffs, and it's York and Signal Mountain. Here we go. Johan going to kick it off, and this is going to be a short one. Over to the right side, he'll take a couple bounces. Picked up on the hop at the 20 to the 24. Now he tries to scoot outside, does get outside, got some running room, and he's going to be ran out of bounds at the 32-yard line, Gary. And that time, I believe it's Cole Cooper maybe kept him from breaking a big one.
Yeah, Josiah Headings got down early and forced him to the sideline, which he should have done, but he got around the 2 York defenders there, and fortunately Cole Cooper there knocked him out of bounds at about the mark at the 34-yard line.
We talked with Coach Derwin Wright earlier in the week, Gary. He said that you'll see the running game of Upperman and the passing game of Livingston from the Signal Mountain squad, and now the official Ralph the Bat's got something. He's okay. I'm not sure what they're doing there.
He's talking to the Signal Mountain bench, and he's talking to I think the coach in particular here, but
surely not a sideline infraction right off the bat, but anyway.
He didn't call it anyhow.
It'll be Drew Lowry coming up under center. Gary, Drew Lowry's that player that is back for Signal Mountain. Since he's been back, they've been back.
Yeah, they have, and they're on this 6-game winning streak, Gary, and they, by all accounts, he's the piece that really makes them go. So, he's going to be a big factor tonight. And York got to be able to try to control him, and in particular the passing game.
So we'll see what they can do here as they come up. It is going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles of Signal Mountain. They'll have it at their own about 34-yard line, looks like they marked it, Gary, and that's where they're going to start for the first possession.
I think our delay, we're having some problems with the clock, Gary. So
yeah, because only 1 second ran off the clock. That was probably the quickest kickoff return in the history of man.
We got 3 officials over here working on it, so it should be fixed very shortly.
And I could say an old joke, because how many officials did it take to fix clock, but I won't do that.
No, not tonight, not yet.
I shouldn't say, because I could say something, kind of like, one to hold the hands and 2 to turn him around, but I won't do that. So now we've already got the TSSAA mad at us, so let's see what else we can do before the night's over. Here come the officials. They're still working on the clock, folks, so we got a little timeout, a little delay in the game. So let's get a quick commercial in while we're trying to work on the clock.
A great football program is built on teamwork, and so is a great company like Micro Metals Incorporated of Jamestown. We're inviting you to come join our team. We are now hiring for different positions. We offer several benefits, including medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, short-term disability, 8 paid holidays, paid vacation after 6 months, profit sharing, 401k retirement, and more. Apply in person at 1049 Owens Road, Jamestown, or online at powdermetalparts.net.
Right now at Pizza Hut.
Get 2 medium 2-topping Pizza Hut pizzas
For just $5.99 each.
The perfect pair.
At the perfect price.
Order however you want.
Delivery or carry out.
Call or click.
Get one for me.
And me.
Or just you and yours.
Everyone gets what they want.
So get your perfect pair now.
2 medium 2-topping pizzas.
Just $5.99 each.
Because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ask for this offer. Additional charge for extra cheese, select crust types, and additional toppings. Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges, and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charge is not a driver tip.
Well, Gary, I think they've decided maybe to keep it on the field, but I think they're having trouble with that one as well. They're not getting that one. Some news we didn't pass along to you this week, Gary. Of course, Cumberland County, their head coach resigned this week, so they'll be getting a new coach. And at 7-34, I'm going to think a long time coming.
Yeah, that's a school that's only been to the state playoffs 5 times in their history and only won one playoff game, and that's been about 35 years ago or so, Gary. So, you know, they change coaches about 4 or 5 years as a result of that, and that's probably pretty regular. But, you know, while you talk about that, there's some teams that are going well, though, and Stone's 9-1, York's 8-2, Livingston's playing a home game tonight. And
no, actually, Livingston's on the road tonight.
I'm sorry, they lost, so they're on the road. Cookville will be on the road, and you know, plus there's the teams in York's region that are playing as well.
Monterey and Clay County's both in that. I also want to mention that coming up tomorrow, the Pickett County Bobcats going to be playing the Character Star Bowl down at Knox Grace. That one kicks off at 1:30. If you can go down and support the Bobcats as they take on Unaka in that one, and that one should be a good one. That one's coming up tomorrow down at Knox Grace Academy. Those should be some pretty even match teams. Pickett and Unaka.
Yeah, it should, and of course, Unaka from far over in East Tennessee, and you know, a single A school like Pickett County, and single A in all sports actually, and so should be a good game.
And of course, Unaka has the unique distinction of having a defensive lineman that is a female defensive lineman. So that should be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Here we go. First play of the game now. We got the clock set at 11:54. Lowry back in the shotgun. He's going to roll to his right, throws it out quickly to the right. Got a man out there, and he's going to be brought down after about a 5-yard gain, Gary. That was a good tackle there by the Dragons. Good pursuit over there by Cole Cooper.
Yeah, they did. They lined up in the shotgun, threw a little swing pass out to number 20, Terrence Russell, and he tried to beat Landrick Lefeview to the corner and did. Got about 5 yards out of that, so sets them up 2nd and 5, Gary.
2nd and 5 now for the Stone Mountain Eagles. Or Signal Mountain, I said Stone Mountain, Signal Mountain Eagles. As the Eagles come up, it'll be Lowry back in the shotgun. He's got beside him, looks like it's going to be Terrence Russell. They'll take the snap, hand it off to Russell. He goes right up the middle, and he's going to get 7 on the carry. And there's going to be a first down for the Eagles, Gary.
Yeah, it is. Just right up the middle, and they opened the hole, and he's able to run through it, Gary. So got about 7 yards before Josiah Headings and Thomas Cooper were able to bring him down.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. They're at the 46-yard line, their own 46. First possession of the ball game. Game actually kicked off at 6 o'clock, but we had a delay because they had some clock issues. Now they've got that fixed, and the clock is running, and we're at 10:45 in the first quarter, and no score on the scoreboard, but Signal Mountain with the football, their first possession. They'll hand it off again to Russell. Russell goes inside and is tripped up. Good job by the Dragons to knock him down. He picks up about 3, though, on the carry.
Got about 3, fell forward for about 3 yards just off of left guard there, trying to run through that hole, wasn't able to get through and tripped up, but still got about 3 yards, Gary.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 7. They say 2nd and 6 on the scoreboard, about 6.5. As Lowry back in the shotgun takes the snap. He's rolling, looking out to the right. He short hops that one, and he had the intended receiver out there, Gary, and he got some yardage.
Yeah, York was closing on him, number 4, Malone Halley, the intended receiver there, and just a short one hop there, had plenty of time to make the throw.
And Halley's dad's over here in the press box for us. He tells everybody that he is a stud. He actually got a offer from Bucknell today, so he is maybe going on to college. He's going to play at the next level. As now it's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Eagles. They'll get a rush on him, the quarterback. He's trying to get outside. He's got some room, still on his feet, but then gets dropped before he gets to just over midfield, Gary. He's going to be short about probably 5 yards.
Yeah, he got about a yard and a half out of that, so it's going to be 4th down and 4.5 here, and be interesting. They moved into York's side of the field. We'll see what happens. Actually got a good spot. He's only about 3.5 on this one.
We'll see if they send out the kicker, Tristan Santelman.
They do, actually. He's coming out. Looks like they're in pump formation.
Santelman going to try to pin him deep.
Actually, that's number 18, Gary.
18 is Caldwell. Now he drops the thing, and York's going to get a rush on him. They're going to drop him, and the Dragons got him back all the way at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 Dragons as Gary, the punter that time, he just mishandled that one. And
I'm sorry, that is Scott Payne.
Scott Payne.
Yeah,
he just dropped that one. That was a good snap.
Went right through his hands, and he couldn't get picked up before York converged on him. So first break goes York's way, and York got it in Signal Mountain territory, Gary.
Got it 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here come the Dragons as we'll see what York comes with. They've got Landrick Lefew under center. The Dragons at full strength. We see Josiah Headings, I believe, in the backfield.
That's actually Ben Cooper at fullback, yeah.
So Cooper's at fullback. York's got Miller in motion. Miller left side, cuts back inside for about 3 yards before he's dropped. Good job that time by the Eagles to cut him back into pursuit.
Yeah, that tackle made by number 21, Spencer Leonard, and they did a good job of filling the hole there, but Miller able to push forward for about 3, Gary.
So it's going to be 2nd and 7 now for the Dragons. We're under 8:50 left to go here in the first quarter. Just underway in this first quarter. And the Dragons, with their first possession, got it 2nd and 3. Now they got Headings in the backfield. They got Miller in motion. They're going Headings right up the middle, and Headings will pull his way up over the 35-yard line to the 33. And, Gary, that's 1st and 10 Dragons.
That's good hard running. Good job by the York offensive line to open the hole. He just ran it through the A-gap between the center and the guard, Gary, on the left side, and got about 9 yards on that and a first down for York.
When you get the jackhammer running downhill, he's hard to stop as now Cooper checks back in. Ben Cooper in the backfield as Lefew under center, and we've got a whistle.
He threw a flag. There's a flag down. He's calling York for a penalty, I do believe.
And no, it's going to be encroachment against the Eagles. So a hallmark moment for the Dragons when you care enough to give the very best. Give them 5 freebies, guys. We like it. 1st and 5 now for the Dragons. He'll hand it off this time. Cooper, right side. Cooper going to be hit. Gary, he's going to keep pulling forward. And that was just sheer Cooper on that one, Gary, as he pushed 4 guys on up for a couple of yards.
Yeah, he moved it down to about the 24-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and less than 1 here, Gary, for a first down. So a good tough run by Cooper. Kept his legs turning. Moved the pile. Moved about 5 guys for a couple of yards. So, good job by Cole Cooper.
Yeah, the Eagles had the numbers on him. They just couldn't bring him down. And now we got a stoppage of play while player ties his shoes for the Eagles. One of their safeties back there tying his shoes. And, Gary, York coming out doing what they need to do. They need to run the ball and keep it out of the Eagles' hands.
They do, and, the offensive line's winning right now, Gary, and that's the key to the game right now. They're winning. They're getting at least enough of a block to get a runner through, and doesn't hurt when you got about a 280-pound fullback either, and that can move people and run through the hole, and Josiah can do that, and saw a good run out of him early.
And we saw that run from Cole Cooper. Just shows you how strong this young man is.
Yeah, that hole was plugged up, Gary, and he just kept the pile moving, moved it about 2 yards on his own before they brought him down.
And the impressive thing, Gary, they had 4 guys trying to pull the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, they're looking to strip the ball. They're going for a strip here. They've made a miscue of their own. They're trying to get it back.
Up will come Lefew. He's got a man in motion, hands it off. No, he's going to pitch it out to Miller, left side. Miller's got the first down and more. He's going to pick up about 5 before he's ran out of bounds. And, Gary, he's going to get inside the red zone.
Yeah, he is. He moved that just inside the 20. That'll be a first down York and a good run by Thomas Miller. They had that strung out, and he managed to get by one guy. And, that's his ability. He can make the first guy miss. So he made the first guy miss and then managed to get about 4 more yards after that.
Now, if you remember last year's game, York jumped out to a 14-0 lead in that one, and the Eagles came storming back. They had a great third quarter, but then the Dragons pulled away in the fourth quarter and won that one. Now it's going to be up the middle of Ben Cooper. Ben's going to bang straight ahead, and he's going to pick up 4 on the carry. Going to make it 2nd and 6 now for the Dragons.
Yeah, good run by Ben Cooper just up the middle and got about 4 yards, about 3.5 out of that, and good strong run, and York getting positive yards on first down. That's what you want, Gary.
So York needing About 7 for the first down as they'll come back up. Got a man in motion, and Leffy's going to drop it, and he's going to fall on it there. And, Gary, that could have been disastrous, but the Dragons able to come back up with it, but they're going to lose what they gained.
Yeah, they are, and he had the snap. He's turning to make the exchange. That was going to be a handoff, I'm pretty sure, to Cole Cooper, and as he went to turn to make the exchange, it just fell out of his hands, Gary, and fortunately he is able to jump on it.
Now there's where you talk about the cold weather again, Gary. That's something these teams going to have to be careful about.
Yeah, they are. It's a big deal.
So now up will come Lefeview. He's got a 3rd and 9 now after the loss of 3. And he'll hand it off this time to Miller. Miller through the middle. Miller's headed toward the end zone. Did he get there? Indication is touchdown Dragons. York on the scoreboard early, and Gary, that was a great run by Miller.
It was a great run. They ran the same formation, either left or right, the whole time. Well, that time they gave it to the second guy through the other wing, and Signal Mountain hadn't seen that one yet, and Miller just went through practically untouched till he got to the goal line.
And now Johan West for the extra point. It's up. It looks like no good. He shanked it off to the left, and with 6:11 left to go in the first, it's a 6-0 York lead.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435, a proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
Well, Gary, York took their first possession, drove it down, a 17-yard run by Miller, and the Dragons are on the scoreboard, but they missed that extra point.
Yeah, they know, and there's nothing to say. These aren't big extra points right now, and you can't be missing those. But number 7, Dalton Cunningham, came unblocked off the corner, Gary, and he was on top of Johan before he kicked the ball. I don't know how it got out of there even.
That one, we were lucky that one wasn't blocked, as now West will kick it off again. Got a couple of man deep for the Eagles. West kicks it. This is going to be a high and short, and the guy come up on it, take it at the 25. He's still on his feet, gets through the first line, still on his feet, but he's brought down right at the 45-yard line. Gary, if he'd have made a move to his right, he'd had a lot of room. And if it hadn't been for York's number 22, Johan West, he would have been gone.
Yeah, that was Travion Williams on the return, and he busted through and was in the open on one guy to beat, which was Johan West. Johan squared up, made a good tackle, Gary.
And so now it's going to be 6-0 lead for York. We're 6:03 left to go in the first quarter. Dragons on top early.
Thanks for the support. You got to like the way York played. They held them, contained line of, kindly contained the line of scrimmage and didn't let them get any big runs on that first drive, Gary.
And now Drew Lowry will come up in the shotgun. He's got Russell beside him. He's rolling out, looking. Now he's going to throw one deep. He's got a man out there, and he's going to be incomplete. Great play. Oh, they're going to throw the flag on Barger, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to call pass interference on Barger, and, it's hard to see from this side, but he had his right arm in there, and I don't know if he got it in early. They're going to say he got it in early, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Now, that was a nice throw from Lowry. He had that right on target, and that may have been not a bad penalty, Gary, because if he hadn't have got his arm in there, it looked like a touchdown for the Eagles.
He had him beat and thrown a little short, Gary, and that was credit to Josiah Headings, who wrapped him up as he threw the ball, and but it was there, and unfortunately York called for the penalty.
So that'll put the Eagles in Dragon territory at the 40-yard line. The Eagles in business now as Lowry will step back in the shotgun. You're getting some good pressure on him early. Got Russell there with him. Terrence Russell to his left side. Got 2 to the right, 1 to the left. As the snap, they're going to roll the quarterback now. He's going to keep it and gets around the first tackle. Still on his feet. Going to cut back inside. Still on his feet. And Gary, he's going to get a good run out of that one. It should have been about a 1 or 2 yarder.
Yeah, it should have. Actually, it was Lathan Drake had him in the backfield for a loss, Gary, and he got away from him, then got away from a couple others, and actually he moved it 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 1. A good run by the quarterback, Lowry.
This is a lot of what we've seen when York played Upperman. That's the kind of play that McClellan from Upperman liked to run.
Yeah, and they I'm sure they've watched the tape, and they're going to do some stuff like that. And York's got to they've got to make the tackle out there, Gary. You had him for a loss, you got to tackle him.
2nd and 1 from the 31. As back in the shotgun goes Lowry. Lowry takes the snap. He's looking. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man out there, and it's going to be caught right at the 3-yard line and brought down. And that time, Gary Barger a little too far off the receiver.
Yeah, there was nobody with the receiver. That was number 4, Malone Howley. And nobody with him, Gary, and that ball was just lofted up there. It took forever to get there, and Barger about got there with it, but a little late, and it's 1st and goal for Signal Mountain.
Signal Mountain on the 3-yard line. Got it 1st and goal. We got 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 York lead. But the Eagles are knocking on the door. As back in the shotgun goes Lowry. Lowry going to hand it off to Russell. Russell hit right there and driven down. Didn't get much if he got any.
He probably may have lost a half a yard, and that's another good job. Josiah Headings at the bottom of that pile, and with some help from Thomas Cooper and Landry Cleftview on that one. A good defense by York on 1st down.
2nd and goal now for the Eagles at the now about 3.5-yard line. You're right, Gary. They lost about a half a yard on that one.
And the tailback, Terrence Russell, come off hobbling here. So he's banged up a little.
So now we'll see what Lowry does. He's got one in the backfield. I'm not sure the number of the one in the backfield, but now he's going to roll it out to the right. He's going to be hit, gets away from the first one, then is brought down. Good D by the Dragons.
Landry Cleftview on that tackle. He got away from Cooper, and then Landry there to finish it up. But that was a designed run all the way, and a good job by the York defense.
3rd and goal still, and another loss of about a half a yard.
Yeah, it's on the 5 now, so they've
about
lost
a yard and a half.
Yeah, they've lost 2 yards on 2 plays here.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 5. You can bet it's probably a 4-down territory. I don't know what kind of kicker they have, but we're going to have a timeout before we do anything else. Signal Mountain wants to talk about it. We got 3:44 to go in the first. It's a 6-0 Dragon lead.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And now over and over. It's First Volunteer for you.
Well, Gary, it looks like maybe Signal Mountain has the first casualty of the game. They got an injured Terrence Russell.
Yeah, he would be their junior tailback, and the tailback they've leaned on through the first 2 possessions here, but he's hobbling pretty bad over here on the sideline, Gary. We'll have to see what happens with him.
And I think they've got, if I'm not mistaken, number 16, Garrett Trombley in now.
Yeah, number 22, Andrew Eichner, I think, is the other tailback here.
And now Lowry gets the flap. He's looking in the end zone, throws it in the end zone, and they got a whistle before the play, Gary. I think somebody
false start. Yeah, it's a false start, so they're going to be backed up 5 more here.
The Eagles got antsy on that one. Now, we did learn during the break that they have a good kicker, so, they're definitely within field goal range.
Yeah, so, and we seen him drop the punt here early, so we'll see if that might, hopefully York will bow up here and stop them. We'll see if it'll affect the field goal attempt.
And since they got down to the 3-yard line, the Eagles are backing up like the French Army at this point. They're at the 10-yard line, and they've got it 3rd and 10, or 3rd and goal from the 10. So we'll see what they do here as up comes Lowry in the shotgun. Watch for that. They have to throw that little post pattern as they'll drop back. Lowry looking. He's going to throw it to the end zone. Incomplete, overthrown. And Gary York had heat on him that time.
Yeah, they brought the blitz. Landry Cleftview on the blitz. They didn't have the receiver covered out there. That's Halley again. They didn't have him covered, and Lathan Drake late getting there, and they had Jacoby Allen over at offer help too, but they had 4 wides, Gary. They had 3 on one side and then 1 on the other, and they came to the the small side of the field here to the one receiver just couldn't complete the pass.
And they're going to try a 22-yard field goal, and York trying to get in there, and the kick is up, and it is no good. He shanks it off to the left, and with 3:33 to go in the first quarter, York takes over with a 6-0 lead.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. When you schedule your fall maintenance with Condition Heating and Cooling, they will clean, calibrate, test, and ensure your heating system is in proper working order. Let them find and correct issues before they become major problems. Or you can take advantage of discounts up to $1,000 on new energy-saving American Standard heating and air conditioning units. See dealer for details. Offer won't last long, so call to schedule your appointment today.
Call 879-5909. Conditioned heating and cooling.
Well, Gary, Signal Mountain missed the field goal attempt as a 22-yarder. He shanked that one badly, and most of that was due to the rush that York put on him.
Yeah, the holder didn't get that down for him, and he just barely did get a foot on that, Gary.
And now we got a whistle before the play, and we'll see.
False start against York here, so that was thrown from both sides of the field, so they're going to back them up 5 yards.
And York got a little antsy that time, so that's going to make it a 1st and 15 now for the Dragons, and that's something you don't want.
No, it's not something you want, and, they were handing that off to Josiah Headings, too, and there was, of course, they blew the play dead, but it looked like there's going to be a hole opened up there, Gary. And
yeah, it looked like Josiah had a lot of room, and then once he got downhill, he'd been hard to bring down.
Yeah, so that looked like that play had some potential, and unfortunately it's blown dead.
So now it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Dragons. This time they hand it off to Headings, and he's going to bull straight ahead, and he's going to get most of that 5 back, Gary.
He got all 5 of them back, Gary. He moved it out to the 20, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for York, but a good strong run. Signal Mountain ready for that. They converged about 4 on him.
Yeah, they just seen that play right before then, Gary. So,
well, that one was ran a little wider than the first one. That first one was right off the center and the guard through the A-gap. This one ran a little wider, Gary.
So we'll see now what York does. They got it 2nd and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Under center goes Lefew's got a man in motion. He's going to throw it quickly right down the middle to Phillips. Daedric Phillips with a great reception all the way up to the 43-yard line. And, Gary, he hit Daedric in stride.
Well, he had his choice, Gary. He had Drake there, and he had Cole Cooper there as well. They was all three in a short area there and all running similar routes. But Dakota, that ball was zipped in there. Good catch, or Daedric, a good catch by Daedric Phillips, and he turned it upfield for about 8 more yards here.
Daedric putting that shoulder down, gets a big gain, and the Dragons got it 1st and 10 now at their own 43-yard line. Dug out of a hole here as they will bring it up. And this time they're going to hand off to Cooper, going over the right side, and Cooper going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage, Gary. He maybe got back to the line.
Probably lost maybe a half a yard on that one. And, we see Signal Mountain employing a tactic that we saw Livingston do, and they have a number 7 here, Dalton Cunningham, and he is about 100 pounds soaking wet, but he's playing cornerback, but he's shooting up on the line and is like an extra defensive lineman, and York effectively handled that against Livingston. They're going to have to do it here, too, it looks like, tonight.
And, Gary, they gave him a half a yard, so he got a half a yard on it. 2nd, 9.5. They'll go to Headings. Headings up the middle, and Headings head over heels on that one. Going to end up just short of the 1st down, Gary, but that's a good run by the Jackhammer.
Nice run by Josiah Headings.
Well, that was not a good spot.
Right up the middle. They caught him where he hit down, I guess, first. He kind of somersaulted forward, and instead of what we thought might be 3rd and 1, going to be more like about 3rd and 3 here, Gary, 3rd and 2.5, something like that.
So York got a 3rd down again, and with 1:08 left to go here in the first quarter, up 6-0, the Dragons making a move again, trying to go out ahead by a couple of scores on this one. As now got a man in motion. They're going to hand off up the middle. No, it's going to be a keeper by Lefew. And Lefew doing a little spinderella there. Gets all the way up to the 44-yard line. And a 1st down for the Dragons.
Nice run by Landrick. That was a RPO play and a run option play, and he kept it and then made a little spin move. He probably had the 1st down, made a spin move, let him get about 3 extra yards there, Gary. So a good run by Landrick.
And more importantly, Gary, it's eating the clock up. The time that the Eagles, they got it down the field very quickly, but York is eating this clock up. And now they're going to hand off to Miller. Miller left side. Miller breaks the tackle. Miller's down the sideline. Got one man to meet. Couldn't juke him, Mo. And he gets to the 16-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 10 Dragons.
Nice run by Thomas Miller. Broke free. If Drake would have took his man on down the field, he'd never seen him, Gary, but he stopped him when he did. He allowed his man to turn around and make the tackle, but that'll be the last play of the first quarter here.
And if you're gonna stop like that, Gary, you got to make the block.
Yeah, you do. You know, if you're going to stop, you got to block your guy.
So it looks like this is going to be the end of the first quarter. York's got a 1st and 10, up 6-0 as we head to the second quarter right after these.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op, bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and the gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
I still dream about.
And Coach Charles Vaughn, 17 years of coaching. He took his team to the state playoffs and led them in multiple district and bowl championships. His life modeled teamwork, integrity, and hard work. I'm Joy Vaughn, and this man not only was my dad, but he was my coach. I grew up learning these values, and they are a large part of what Meta-Thrift Pharmacy is founded on. Come out and support our York football team.
Well, Gary, York with a 6-0 lead. They're making their move again. Another great run by Miller. Like we said, almost broke that one, went to the house.
Yeah, he did. You know, instead he got about roughly, he got about 28 yards out of that, Gary. Moved it down to the 17-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for York as we start the second quarter.
York on top 6-0.
York winning the stats game so far. I thought they might have been winning time of possession a little more than they are. They're about a minute up right now, but 12 carries for 84 yards, and they're 1 of 1 through the air for 23 more. So over 100 yards total offense for York, and more importantly, they've held Signal Mountain to 78 yards through the first quarter.
A missed attempted field goal is all they've had a shot at so far.
Yeah, and a botched punt. So, York winning the stats game so far, Gary.
This time they hand it off Cooper over the right side. Cooper goes straight ahead and gets up over the 10 to about the 8. If he'd have bounced outside, Gary, he had that corner wide open, but it looked like Cole was just looking to punish somebody.
He was, and he got down to about the 12-yard line there, Gary. So gain of about 5 on first down. That's what, if you're York, that's what you want to do. 5 yards a time, and that's York football.
But from where we looked at, if he had just bounced toward the corner, he had a wide open field over there toward that corner.
Yeah, he got through the initial line of blocking. It'd been a good time to maybe bounce that outside and see.
Now York on the move, and they're going to keep it. It's going to be Lefevue on the keeper. Lefevue spins up, and he's going to be dropped down. He's going to be close to another first down, Gary, maybe about a yard short.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to mark that on about the 8-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 1 for York here, and, that's favorable position for York, certainly 2-down territory here.
Let's see what York does here, as this is usually where they bring in Headings. They like to give it to Headings when it's 3rd and short, 4th and short.
He is. I think that's Daedric Phillips. I don't see.
They still got Cooper out there. Ben Cooper's still out there.
Ben Cooper is the fullback right now.
So we'll see what York does here. They've got it 3rd and 1 from the 8.
Here comes Headings. Yeah, they're going to change that out now. So.
And if you don't give it to Headings, you like to get it to, they got a penalty.
They called a personal foul against the Dragons here, so it's...
Whoa, that was a late call, Gary.
It was a real late call, so instead of 3rd and 2, it's going to be...
Should it not be 2nd and...
If it's after the play would count, and it looks like that's the case here, so...
Well, that's a tough call against the Dragons, as that backs them all the way up to the 23-yard line. Going to be 3rd and long. And they'll hand it off to Miller. Miller's going to be racked up right there, Gary.
Actually, that's Lathan Drake on the carry. He didn't get nothing, so it's 4th and long now. See what York's got in the bag here for this.
Don't you want to? I now want to know what the call was, who the call was on there. I didn't see that, but they called that very late.
It was very late. I never saw the flag come down, and but they did call the penalty, and York obviously 4th down out here in kind of no man's territory, so they're going to go for it here, Gary.
And they've got to get to at least the 8-yard line, right, Gary?
Yeah, they do. It's actually down to about the 7 almost, so 4th and 16 here, so we'll see what York's got in mind.
Left you under center. Got a man in motion. He's going to fake it to Cooper. Rolls out. Still rolling, looking. He's got a man down there. Throws it out. It's going to be caught, but going to be short of the first down, Gary. So the Dragons going to turn it over on downs.
Yeah, caught by Dadrick Phillips, and he got it down to about the 14-yard line, about 6 yards short, Gary. So York will turn it over on downs here.
And that was big, Gary. That penalty right there could be a momentum swing in this ball game.
It could. You know, York was in good shape, 3rd and 1 from the 8, and you know, you had several different options, and when you back up 15 yards, that severely limits your options there, and York turns it over on downs.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the York, or at their own 14-yard line. They're going to be 1st and 10 from their own 14. Lowry back in the shotgun. Looks like Russell's back in there. As they got a man in motion, they're going to snap it back. Oh, and there's a whole lot of movement on that one.
Yeah, you have your pick. There was about 4 men that moved early, including they had 2 men in motion at the same time at the snap. So you got your pick. They're going back up 5 yards here, and they'll scrimmage from the 9-yard line.
The only person that wasn't in motion on that play was their drum majorette down here.
They had a bunch, you know, a lot of movement on that play, and actually that was a snap that hit the back coming through in the head as it come through. So kind of wish that might have played out in a way here maybe to see what would have happened.
So it's going to be now 1st and 15 for the Eagles at the Dragon, or at their own 9-yard line, as they're deep in their own territory now. They got a man in motion. They're going to hand it off to the man in motion. No, it's going to be the quarterback keeper. And Gary, he got
That's a fumble.
And a fumble. I believe the Dragons come up with it. Yes, they have. York with the first turnover of the night. And the Dragons got it 1st and 10. And, Gary, we're back in business.
Yeah, great play. You know, the quarterback kept that. They did a real run option there over the left side, and he kept the ball and turned it up. And there's about 4 York players there, and they hit him hard. And when they did, it come out. It clearly came out, and York recovers it at the 10-yard line.
1st and 10 or 1st and goal, I guess, from the 10, Gary. So they've got as far as you can go for a touchdown. They can't not get a first down, but they can get a 10 yards. It's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, it's just inside the 10, so 1st and goal.
And this time they'll hand it up, and there goes the leaping Josiah Headings, as Josiah Headings probably the only 280-pound leapster, I guess. What would be a hurdlist. That's what we'll put him on the hurdle team for the track team.
The hole wasn't there, so he just jumped over the line there. You know, they were blocking low. He jumped over them and then tried to hurdle. Got about 4 yards out of that, Gary, so he moved it down to the 6.
So 2nd and goal now for the Dragons at the 6. They'll hand it off to Miller, I should say. Miller bangs down. Did he get there?
No, he's at the 1, inside the 1. So it'll be 3rd and goal from about the 1 here.
And, Gary, I'm either going to have Lefeview go right up the middle, or I'm going to have Headings go right up the middle.
I'd look for Cole Cooper, you know, coming off of this, off the wing here. And I think, you know, Cole is their short down back here. And
judging the way they're lined up, though, Gary, I think if you quarterback sneak right here, you might be able to get in there. Lefeview might be able to get in from the 1. But he's going to hand it off to Headings, and Headings goes straight ahead. And he got held up, Gary, right at the half-yard line.
He didn't get any gains, so it's going to be 4th down. And, you know, they boxed up the middle, Gary, and I really think the run, you know, the handoff to Cole Cooper would have been successful right there. And, you know, that whole right side broke down. So, York line up here on 4th down. Maybe you take a look at this and give it, you know, Cooper has been your short yardage back for most of the year, you know, especially getting those tough yards. So
and Ben Cooper, too, he's back in the game now. Ben got that lower center of gravity. We'll see what he does here. Got a man in motion. They hand it out to Ben Cooper. Now they're going to give it out to Cooper. And
Lefeview on the keeper.
Lefeview with the keeper for the touchdown, Dragons. Gary, they faked me on that one. I thought they gave it to Ben up the middle.
No, they faked the handoff, and he rolled out with it, carried a couple of guys that last couple of feet into the end zone, Gary, for the touchdown for York. A great run, great play call by Coach Wright to get the touchdown for York.
And York now, Gary, do you go for 2 to try and make this a 14-0 game, or you go for the extra point?
Well, it looks like they're lined up to go for 2 here, Gary, and so regardless of what I think, it's going to be 2 here.
Going to go for 2 here, try and make this a 14-0 lead. Shades of deja vu from last year, folks, as this time they'll go up the left side and into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good.
Cooper.
And Cole Cooper, the Coal Train, with the 2-point conversion. And the Dragons take a 14-0 lead with 8:24 to go in the first half.
At Twin Lakes, the customer always comes first, and that's why we've updated our broadband plans and pricing to fit your family's needs and budget. With new plans, faster and better values will keep you connected just the way you want. Twin Lakes offers broadband speeds up to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megabits per second, so you'll never have to worry about your connectivity again. Visit us online at twinlakes.net or stop by one of our 7 local business offices, and we'll help you find the right speed for your family.
Well, the Dragons now, Gary, take a 14-0 lead. This is exactly like last year. York took the 14-0 lead, then they saw the Eagles come back, and then York pulled away in the second half and won it. So right now things are looking good for the Dragons with 8:24 to go in the first half.
They are, Gary. You know, they're moving the ball, getting a couple of breaks on, you know, got a turnover, a missed field goal, and a muff punt. So, everything going York's way right now. You want to keep it like that.
West to kick it off, and West is going to make this another short one. That's going to be caught by the up man at about the 26, and he goes down. And, Gary, I'm not sure. The up man that time, he kind of went up, and it looked like his knees just buckled on him.
Yeah, that's number 1, Will Bennett, on, the up man there that took that return. And he just, it kind of looked like an NFL quarterback giving himself up. He just kind of went down there and, it worked to York's advantage because he probably had a few more yards to get there. But instead, they'll take over at the 32.
Gary, it looked like he saw the oncoming rush and just said, well, wait a minute. Discretion, the better part of valor in this one.
Yeah, it is. And, the one thing that I've seen about them, they can hit a big play, Gary. So, York still got to keep the pressure turned up defensively.
This time they hand it off to Russell, and Russell ain't going nowhere as up is Ben Cooper up and underneath, Gary, to break that one up. And then Dadrick come in and finished it.
Yeah, nice play. Lost about 1 there on that one. And they have brought, Russell back in the game here, but he's nothing like his normal self. He's hobbling around, so trying to give it a go here.
So now we'll see what they do with a 2nd and 11. As back in the shotgun goes Lowry. York looking to put some pressure on him. Here come the Dragons, and they're going to bring him down. They get him all the way back to the 24-yard line. And, Gary, that time, I believe it was Ben Cooper comes up. Now we got a flag as one of the Signal Mountain players come up. We get a flag, I believe, against Signal Mountain, Gary. I believe one of the players come up and give a shove.
I think they did. I'm hoping they didn't call that on York this time, and don't think they did. I think it was clearly the Signal Mountain player that got the shove in that we saw him.
Yeah, it seemed like when Ben Cooper come up, one of the guys beside him gave him a shove, and that's what they're going to call, Gary. That one was pretty obvious. We could see that one from up here.
That should have been after the play too, Gary, so that down will count. It should be 3rd down here.
3rd down and probably about Bledsoe County to get the first down.
Well, they backed it up to about the 13.5-yard line, so that'll be 3rd and 18 here.
So, no, actually going to be farther than that, Gary.
No, it's on the 13.
Okay.
They got to get to the – actually, yeah, they got to get to the 43.
Yeah, they got to get to the 43, so they're about 30 yards away.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 30.
3rd and 30 as up will come the quarterback. He's dropping back. Lowry looking for somebody now. Got a long pass out there. That was going to be caught. Great play, and it's going to be still on his feet. And down the sideline goes number 7. He's still got one man to beat, and he's going to be brought down to the 12-yard line. And Gary, good saving tackle there by Drake, but That was one. Now we got a flag afterwards.
I believe that one's going to be on York, too, unfortunately. But Dalton Barger had a chance to make that tackle about the 40-yard line, Gary, and didn't get it done, and allowed them to get about 30 more yards.
And, Gary, that was a 3rd and 30, and they get all the way down to the 12-yard line. And if they tack a penalty on that, it's going to be half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, it is, and I kind of thought that was York that they he signaled that made the penalty there, and going to move it half the distance, so it'll move it down to about the 6-yard line, it looks like.
Personal foul, York, and Gary, that's a couple of penalties on York that they didn't need.
No, it didn't. It moves it down to the 7, actually, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 7 for Signal Mountain.
York could not get any pressure on the quarterback that time, and Lowry had all day to throw that one. Now it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 7. Or 1st and goal, I should say. They handed it off to Russell, and he's dropped right there, and Gary, he got hit quickly.
That was actually number 2, Jaron Radden on the carry. Gave back. He's the receiver. They gave it to him on the wide receiver reverse, and Landry Clefeview there cleaned up. Cole Cooper there cleaned up quickly and lost it 2. And York got a bow up here and tried to stop them again, Gary.
The Eagles, Gary, they got down inside the 10 earlier and were backed up on a couple of plays and a penalty, and now they're backing up again as they've got it 2nd and goal from about the 9. Snap back to Lowry. Lowry going to keep it himself, and Lowry's not going anywhere on that one as he's tripped up quickly. Good job again by Ben Cooper. Ben Cooper like a man possessed in there.
Yeah, Ben Cooper, Landry Clefeview on the tackle there. Good job by those guys. Loss of another yard, so it's going to be back to the 10 now, Gary, and the York goal line defense has been outstanding here early.
You got to get some heat on Lowry, though. You can't allow him to step back there and throw because he's got a good arm.
Yeah, on the big long play there, they ran a delayed blitz with Landry Clefeview, but it was so delayed he couldn't get nowhere near the quarterback before he threw the ball, Gary, and the receiver had ran wide open on the seam route.
And now on the snap, they're going to look. They're looking. They're throwing across the middle. Incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down, Gary. And if you're the Eagles, do you try the field goal again here? They didn't have success the first time around.
It looks like they're keeping the offense out there this time, Gary. But good job by York. They brought about 3 that time. They brought Landry Clefeview, and I think Ben Cooper was back there. And then they had one of the defensive linemen that I can't read a number on that was back there too, and then good coverage as they tried to throw it. They're trying to use the middle of the field. York done a good job of closing it down that time.
4th and 10 now for the Dragons. If it's something short, they've got to keep them out of the end zone. They'll get the ball back as it's 4th and goal from the 10. Driving back is Lowry. Lowry's getting a big rush. Lowry's trying to get away, and he's going to be dropped all the way back to the 20-yard line, and there's a flag again. What's this call going to be?
Hopefully that's holding, Gary, because, they were trying to keep the onslaught from coming, and, York done a good job, putting the rush on, and finally they did get him down, Cole Cooper and Josiah Headings there on the sack. But
and I think they're going to call this against York, Gary.
They're pointing that way, so we'll see what the penalty is. Hopefully it's after the play. I'm not sure.
Personal foul, York, face mask. I did not see a face mask on that tackle.
I didn't see it either, and I had my binoculars on, and I didn't see the face mask there. So they moved it down to the 10. That's a 1st down, so it'll be 1st and 10 again for Signal Mountain.
So they're going to say 4th down. It's 4th down. It's hard to say if you don't. In high school football, it's 4th and goal from the 10.
That's right. I'm sorry. It is 4th down. It's not automatic 1st down.
You've got if it makes you enough yardage, it's a 1st down, but it's not a 1st down as it's going to be 4th and goal now for the Eagles. They get another shot at it. And there they go back to Lowry. Lowry's going to get hit just as they go. York almost had the interception, Gary, but they're better off with the ball where it's at.
Yeah, Ben Cooper got his hands in there and had that, Gary, but you're right. It's good it dropped because they gained yardage out of it, but a stop by the York, great goal line defense, and York going to take over on downs here.
Gary, York just has trouble guarding that long bomb, evidently.
Yeah, then when they get pressure on the quarterback, they're effective, and they have gotten pressure on the quarterback pretty much when they wanted to tonight, Gary.
And they really put a pop on Lowry that time. I don't know who it was coming around that right side, but they laid a stick to him.
Yeah, he's kind of entering that zone where you wonder if he's going to be able to take all these hits because he's getting hit hard.
And now York comes up 1st and 10 of their own 10. And motions Cooper. Cooper trying to bounce outside. He's still on his feet. Stiffs arms one. He gets around the side. He's still on his feet, and he's finally ran out of bounds. But a great yardage by Cole Cooper, Gary. That stiff arm, had it not been for that, he had been dropped in the backfield.
Yeah, that play is meant to go inside the tackle box. He bounces it outside, and then, they only have one guy out there, and that's Terrence Russell, the injured running back, who's playing cornerback as well. And Cole able to stiff arm him, sling him around, and got about 3. Well, he got more than 3 yards. He got
about 7.
Got about 7 on that, looks like.
And now we got another whistle. I don't know what the officials are doing now. They're talking about something. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but
they're pointing right there in front of them. So I'm wondering if it's the spot.
Now I think they're going to go. They're going to call a penalty against the Eagles.
Yeah, it's against Signal Mountain, unsportsmanlike conduct. So 15 yards, and that'll be a first down for York, and that should move it out to about the 32-yard line, Gary.
We've seen that against Cannon County, Gary. Undisciplined. That's one of those situations you got to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, you do, and there's a lot of talking going on, obviously, right now. We've seen too many penalties. And,
little chippy.
Yeah, and, both York got to stay composed here, and we won't ask the same for Signal Mountain, but York got to stay composed and not get any of those penalties, Gary.
1st and 10 from the 33. 5 minutes left to go in the quarter. Now Lefeview going to take off with it. Lefeview gets up over the 35 to the 36. Good hard running by
that was actually Miller, and he did not get the handoff, Gary, and that's why that play probably didn't get more than it did. He bobbled it a couple of times, and by the time he got a hold of it, they had broke through the line of scrimmage, but he still managed to get about 3 yards out of it.
It actually looked there for a moment like he's going to throw it, Gary. He looked like he had a man out there and was thinking about throwing it to Drake out here, but then tucked it and picks up a couple of yards. So York's got it 2nd and 7. York, Gary, 4:30 left to go. If they can drive down here and put it in the end zone, get the ball to start the second half, they could be in business.
Yeah, they're really in business right now. They just want to continue to run their offense and control the line of scrimmage and control the clock.
And now Cooper going to be tripped up as he tried to bounce outside, Gary, and he's going to lose about a yard.
We see a lot of what went on in the Oneida game right now, Gary. These plays are meant to go at least between the tackles, either through the A, B, or C gap, and the running backs aren't seeing a hole, or they're seeing opportunity, and they're trying to bounce that outside, and it's not getting anywhere. Signal Mountain fast enough team that they can cover from sideline to sideline, and they were able to string these plays out, and that one actually lost a yard.
Good pursuit, and it looks like we may have a timeout. Well, York's going to drop back, and I thought we might have timeout, but no, they're going to come back to the line.
Yeah, and the official's holding his hand up.
Yeah, so they may have to call timeout if they don't get something quick. And there we go. They're down, and they call timeout, I believe, right before the whistle. And one official says delay of game, and they are going to get delay of game, Gary. I thought that was very close.
Yeah, apparently no timeout call there, Gary, because I saw Lefeview stand up before the whistle blew. I thought they were trying to call timeout. Apparently didn't get it, but back them up 5 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 19 now, Gary. So
I think about 3rd and 13, isn't it, Gary?
No, it's on the 30. Yeah, it's about 3rd and 13. You got to get to the 43. So
I'm just looking over there at the 3rd down marker, how close it is to the thing. I can't really see the lines, folks. I'm just making this stuff up. Here we go. It's going to be handed off this time over to the left side, and that's going nowhere, Gary. And we may see our first punt from York, and that's what you didn't want to do, is give this ball up with any time on the clock.
No, you didn't. And actually, that was Cade Brannon on the carry, and nothing out of that one, Gary. Actually maybe lost another yard, and so York going to have to punt here. Josiah Headings back in punt formation.
York could use a really good punt here. We've seen a muff punt by Signal Mountain open up the big game, opening up the first drive of the game, and York capitalized on that, so York needs to get a good one from Josiah. Has a snap, is back, good snap, and Josiah gets a good kick, and that's going to go over the head of the receiver, and it's going to hit, and it's going to roll away from him. And York got some great pursuit, need to make the tackle quickly as he gets back up over the 30 to the 36. So, Gary, pretty good punt by Josiah.
Really a great punt. That ball actually traveled, about 50 yards, and then the return for 16, so out to the 36-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark that about the 39-yard line.
Okay, so they're getting a lot better mark than I thought. It's going to be the 39-yard line, but 237, that's an eternity for a team that throws the ball like the Eagles.
Yeah, it is, and, York you can't play prevent. You got to be able to send pressure. We have found that when he has time to throw the ball, he's completing it, Gary. So you got to keep bringing the pressure and cover these receivers.
And the snap back to Lowry. He's going to throw it across the middle. He's got a man out there. He gets away from the first tackle, and then he's going to be brought down after about 8 on the reception. And I didn't see the number on that one, Gary.
I'm trying to get the number here. I believe that's number 2, Gary.
Yeah, number 2, Jaron Radden.
Yeah, they're just running little seam routes through the middle, Gary, and he's picking the receiver, and he's hitting him and moving. They're moving the ball about 9 yards on that one, 8 yards on that one, so it's going to be 2nd and 2 here.
And we're down to 2 minutes left to go here in the quarter. Got to watch the sidelines. They like to run that guy down the sidelines. And Barger way off number 7 over here. And now the snap, they're going to roll it. This time the quarterback going to keep it himself. Gets around the first one. He's going to get the first down, but only about 3 yards and does get out of bounds, Gary, so the clock keeps running.
Yeah, so, first down, the chains will move also. So, more importantly, he moved it on York's side of the field, got about 4 yards on that, or 3 yards, moved it to the 49-yard line, and they're on York's side of the field here with 1:42 to go.
York needs a stop here, Gary. They're going to get the ball to start the second half, so they really need to get the stop here. We're down under a minute and a half left to go in the quarter. And the Eagles with 3 to the right side now. They're going to roll it to that right side. They're looking for the deep man. They're going to throw it out there. Going to be incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
I believe that was number 6. That would be
Dominic Guente. Is how that's pronounced. Guente. Guente is how they told me to pronounce it. Guente.
Italian, no doubt. So, but he.
My Italiano, not so good.
Yeah, he noodled that ball. He ate in his hands. You got to lay out for those balls sometimes. He ate in his hands and let fall to the ground, Gary.
So now with $1:21 left to go here in the quarter, York trying to hold off any scores here and go in halftime leading 14-0, and hopefully with the ball to start the second half, Gary can make this a really interesting ball game. They can push it down and take a 3-score lead, but a score here would be really devastating for York because that'd give the momentum right back to the Eagles.
Timeout, York. York going to call timeout here, Gary.
York's going to take a timeout on the field. We got $1:21 to go in the first half. It's 14-0 York.
The kids are back in school and the weather's turning cooler, and that can only mean one thing. Flu season will start soon. This year, Hall Family Pharmacy wants to help you fight the flu. Getting a flu shot means that you are 60% less likely to get the flu virus. This year at Hall Family Pharmacy, we are excited to make a $1 donation to the local children's shopping spree for each flu shot we give. So don't let the flu knock you out, and come by Hall Family Pharmacy for your annual flu shot. You won't be the only one glad you.
Well, the Dragons have to hold off the Eagles for another 1:21 here in the first half. Gary, York really doesn't. A score by Signal Mountain would give them a lot of momentum if they could get in halftime and cut this in half here.
Really, this is a momentum building drive for them, Gary. If they don't get anything out of this, York come out and score to start the second half, it could deflate them totally.
And so now back in the shotgun, Lowry. He's got some pressure. He's going to throw one out there. He's got a man out there going way overthrown. And look out, Grandma, he put that one in the cheap seats.
Yeah, that intended for Travion Williams and well out of bounds. he was starting to feel a little pressure. The pressure didn't get there immediately, but
I was surprised there wasn't a hold on that. It looked like a hold over here on this left side.
Yeah, you probably could call holding on a lot of plays, but it didn't get one there. But the pressure did finally get there, and that ball's got some loft on it, Gary. York defensive backs get into a position here maybe where they can pick one of those off.
So now it's going to be a $1:16 left to go here in the first half, as Lowry got his one man beside him, Russell, and he's got 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Needs a first down on this one. Snap, he's rolling. Here comes a rush. York's rush falls down, though, and now Lowry going to have to throw it in self-defense. He's got a man out there, but there's another one in the sidelines. I think that snare drum guy better watch out. He's aiming for him, I believe.
Yeah, that ball intended for number 4, Malone Howley, but well out of bounds. And Cole Cooper had a shot at him and slipped, actually. He didn't miss him. He slipped and fell. And then Dadrick Phillips there to put the pressure on and, made him throw it maybe a little bit before he wanted to, Gary, and they're going to punt.
And back goes number 19, Scott Payne. He buffed one earlier, couldn't hang on to it. Now this time he's got the snap. York got a good rush on him. He got a good kickoff, and that one's going to hit, and York just needs to watch out and not let it hit him.
Yeah, they're going to be down to about the 4-yard line, Gary, and, York probably going to take a knee here and go in.
Yeah, they're do what you would normally do at the end of a game, the victory formation, I'm sure, and take a knee and go in leading 14-0, get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, no need to try nothing here. You're in control of this game, so take this into halftime and let's come out in the second half, see if we can get a drive going, and maybe just kill all the momentum.
Unless you just want to go crazy here and maybe chuck one and hope for the best, but looks like they got a big backfield in there, and they got a man in motion, and it's going to be handed off over the right side to Cooper, I believe, and Cooper's going to get ahead for about 7, and they'll have to a couple more snaps before this first half's over with.
Yeah, probably have to snap it one more time here, and good run by Cooper, though, and, I see that hole opening up now. They've kind of tried to close up between the guard and the center, but that hole between the guard and the tackle and off the tackle is kind of opening up a little bit, especially on that right side, Gary, and maybe that's something York looks at and run a little more off that right side of the offensive line in the second half.
Are you surprised York not kneeling here or trying to run some plays, maybe break one?
I think they're being safe, and that's what you want to do.
Handed off up the middle. That's Ben Cooper straight ahead. He's going to have the first down, and that's going to do it for the first half, I believe.
We shouldn't see another snap here. They'll move the chain, start the clock. He's already started it. So that's
going to be the end of the first half. We're at halftime of this one, round 1 of the TSSAA playoffs. You got to win to stay in, and at the half, York leads it 14-0.
He's on the 30. He's on the 20. He's on the 10. It's a touchdown!
There's nothing like football. The lights, the cheers of the crowd, and getting a chance to see our local athletes and kids give it all they've got. Come to a game. Support our local schools. Upper Cumberland Federal Credit Union. A better way to bank. Federally insured by NCUA. Online at ucfcu.org.
This is a critical time for our nation. It's hard to know what to believe in. One thing we know is true. The National Rifle Association has endorsed John Mark Wendell for his vigorous defense of the Second Amendment freedoms. John Mark Wendell is solid pro-gun and pro-hunting and has earned NRA's endorsement and an A+ rating.
Paid for by John Mark Wendell.
Right now at Pizza Hut.
Get 2 medium 2-topping Pizza Hut pizzas
For just $5.99 each.
The perfect pair.
At the perfect price.
Order however you want.
Delivery or carry out.
Call or click.
Get one for me.
And me.
Or just you and yours.
Everyone gets what they want.
So get your perfect pair now.
2 medium 2-topping pizzas.
Just $5.99 each.
Because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ask for this offer. Additional charge for extra cheese, select crust types, and additional toppings. Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges, and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charge is not a driver tip.
Your hospital in Jamestown has been tailoring its services to meet the needs of area residents for many years, and for one reason: to keep you, your family, and your neighbors healthy. Now we are proud to be serving our community once again as Jamestown Regional Medical Center. The two things that have always been at the core of your hospital: commitment and desire to make this community a healthier place to live. We are Jamestown Regional, a Renova Health company. Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435, a proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
And back here at Signal Mountain High School, round one of the TSSAA playoffs. Time now for, I've got the wrong thing in there, time now for the Old Ben Franklin halftime stats. We'll be back with our stats right after this word from Old Ben Franklin. Remember, folks, Fords are cheaper in the country.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bruce Babb, GM of Old Ben Franklin Ford in Watburg, Tennessee. Doesn't it seem like every radio ad is another car dealership claiming they have the lowest prices, giving you the most for your trade, the best inventory, best service after the sale? It all runs together and is very confusing. At Old Ben Franklin Ford, we don't claim to be the biggest, the best, or perfect, but we work diligently to earn your business. Folks, if you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, give us a call at 1-877-NEW-FORD or visit us online at oldbenfranklinford.com. If you've been waiting for the right time to purchase, now is the time. 0% on all new 2018 Fords in stock, 0% for 72 months on the F-150. We have the all-new SUV EcoSport, 0 down, $258 a month, and the Ford Fiesta, 0 down, $199 a month. We have a great selection. Come see us in Watburg at Old Ben Franklin Ford or call 877-NEW-FORD. Visit us online, oldbenfranklinford.com. Remember, folks, Fords are...
Back here, we're having some kind of difficulty with my spots back at the station. I may have to have Gerald take care of that here at halftime because I'm not getting anything right at the moment. But anyway, Gary, we got a break here. Tell us about our first half stats.
Well, obviously, the biggest stat, Gary, is York 14-0 on the scoreboard. York with 8 first downs in the first half. They have 25 carries for 124 yards, 2 of 2 through the air for 32 yards, so 27 plays, 156 yards for York. On the other side, Signal Mountain, 5 first downs. They have 14 carries for -5 yards, Gary, and then 117 yards passing. They're 4 of 11 through the air. That's a total of 25 plays, 112 yards in the first half. York winning time of possession by a little over 3 minutes. So York winning all the stats, and individually for York, Thomas Miller, 6 carries, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Josiah Headings, 5 for 24. Cole Cooper, 6 for 22. And Ben Cooper, 2 carries, 9 yards in the first half. Landry Cleffy's 2 of 2 through the air, and both of those to Daedric Phillips for a total of 32 yards. For Signal Mountain, their leading rusher is Terrence Russell, 4 carries, 9 yards. Drew Lowry, 8 carries for -3. Jared Radden, 1 carry for -3, and Scott Payne, 1 for -8 on the punt there that was buffed. Lowry, 4 of 11 through the air for 117 yards. Been sacked twice. Receiving, Terrence Russell's caught 2 for 80. Malone Howley, 1 for 28, and Dalton Cummings, 1 for 9. Leading tackler for York is Cole Cooper. He's got 8 tackles in the first half. Ben Cooper also with 8 tackles in the first half. So those guys cleaning it up so far early, Gary.
Gary, the real thing is when York gets the pressure on Lowry, he not quite as accurate. That's something York's got to do is keep that pressure on him. Quick score for you at halftime. It's or in the second quarter, Red Bank all over Smith County, 21-0. So Red Bank out early against Smith County, and the Rome State Lady Raiders tipped off today down at the Walter State Classic. They lost to Shelton State 92-43. A tough day for Coach Bowles' Lady Raiders down there.
I think Red Bank just scored again. So
Red
Bank
28-0. 28-0. So Red Bank trying to blow out Smith County, which is pretty much what we thought would happen in that one.
Yeah, and here, of course, it's York 14-0. I didn't really give the scoring, but they scored actually in the first quarter, 6:11 left. Thomas Miller 17 yards out. The kick failed, 7 plays, 44 yards, about 3 minutes. And then the second quarter, 8:24 on the clock, it was Landrick Lefevue from 1 yard out. Cole Cooper with the 2-point conversion. 4 plays, 10 yards, 142, and it's 14-0. So, York comes out in the second half, Gary, and, gets a momentum building drive going. I look for it to just take the air out of Signal Mountain.
And we are at halftime of this one, and at the half, it is the York Dragons on top 14-0, and I'm trying to get a spot over there. And I'll tell you what, folks, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back for the start of the second half in just a few minutes. Our halftime stats brought to you by Old Ben Franklin Ford. Fords are cheaper out in the country.
A couple of things you really want to look for is, first of all, you've won time of possession in the first half. You want to continue to control the ball, win the line of scrimmage, get 4 and 5 yards on the run, Gary, and, work this clock methodically through the second half. You look at it from defensive presence. They have bent, but they hadn't really broke a couple of times. They stiffened up at the goal line. You want to continue to get pressure on the quarterback, Lowry, and you got to, make sure you cover the receivers. They have run receivers open, but the pressure at those times hadn't allowed them to complete all those passes, and pressure is going to be important on the defensive side of the ball in the second half.
And Gary, York has two things too. They've got to stop the penalties and hang on to football more than anything. Not have any turnovers in the second half.
Yeah, they're winning the turnover battle. They've got a turnover. They've gotten a muff punt. They've gotten a missed field goal. And so they're winning all those essential stat categories. And you got to continue to do that in the second half. This thing could change on a turnover, and got to protect the ball. And it's going to be about protecting the ball control, winning the line of scrimmage.
Well, we got about 2 minutes before this one gets the second half underway. We're going to take another quick timeout, and then we'll be back to get this one started. Don't go anywhere.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And now over and over, it's First Volunteer for you.
With the recent sale of your local Fred's Pharmacy to Walgreens pending FTC approval, here at MetaThrift Pharmacy, we want to make it easy for current Fred's Pharmacy customers to transfer your medications. If you would like to continue doing business with a locally owned independent pharmacy that treats you like family, then we invite you to transfer your Fred's Pharmacy prescriptions to MetaThrift Pharmacy. Hello, my name is Jinky Stevens. I am blessed to now be part of the MetaThrift family. You will love the personal touch of a locally owned pharmacy where we treat our customers just like family. Come by and see us or call 931-879-8133 and we'll do the rest.
And back here as we get set for the second half to get underway, Gary, York will be getting the football to start the second half. How big would it be to take, say, 7-8 minutes off the clock and punch it in here in this third quarter?
Well, I really think, Gary, anything that results in a score is going to be pretty demoralizing. But if you could control a possession that controlled the clock for 7 or 8 minutes and got points out of it, yeah, you're eating up the whole third quarter that way. And that would, it's really going to put them on the spot. And, they're going to make a concerted effort to clog up those A and B gaps, which is anything from the center to the guard outward. And they're going to make sure that York can't run the ball through those holes. So it's going to be important that you run it off tackle and not try to bounce it out all the time, because they can string it out to the sideline and make those negative plays as well. So,
they're good on the pursuit. They got quick kids out there.
They
now,
do.
If you're on the other side, though, Gary, you got to look. Do you roll the dice here and maybe onside kick to start the second half?
No, I think you got to kick this. You're still in a ball game. You get a turnover, you get a 3 and out and a punt. They've shown they can complete some long passes. So, you're kicking this off and looking to play defense.
And to kick it away will be Scott Payne. Here comes the second half. York on top 14-0. You win, you stay in. So this one's going to be a big second half. The winner of this one advances on to next week's game. As the kick's going to be a drive, and that one's going to go into the end zone, and the Dragons will have it 1st and 10 at their 20.
Yeah, nice kickoff there. Bounced on about the 1 yard line, bounced in the end zone. So York will take that on the 20, and York going to come out and they're going to try to run the offense here, Gary. And the big thing is, can you get the blocks and get the holes and move the ball?
And so we'll see what York does here. They got 1st and 10 at their own 20, and now hanging on to that football. You got to hang on to it. I know it's a cold night, but you got to hang on to the football. Now that kickoff didn't take any time off the clock, so it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Dragons, leading 14-0 to start this second half. Left view under center. Now he's got a man in motion. It's going to be Dadrick Phillips going over to the left side. Going to hand it off this time to Cooper up the middle, and Cooper going to be hit, Gary, very quickly.
Yeah, and no gain, maybe a half a yard, and that hole was clogged up quickly, even though York shifted the blocker, Phillips, the extra blocker, over to that side. Good job by Signal Mountain to get over there and close it off, Gary.
And, Gary, this might be the spot where they're clogging that middle up. Now would maybe be a chance for Lefeview to bounce out, maybe bootleg out to the reverse side and pick up some big yardage.
Yeah, and run that option play. They've done that quite a bit as well.
And this time they're going to hand it off over to the right side and run over one and still on his feet up to about the 24-yard line. I believe that was Cooper on the carry, Gary.
Yeah, that was Cole Cooper. And, he ran over the first guy and got a couple of more yards and moved it out to about the 25. So going to be 3rd and 5 here for York, a big third down here early in the third quarter.
You really don't want to come out in this third quarter and go 3 and out.
No, you don't. And I've seen some success running off this right side, Gary, and something I think York's going to have to do to win this game. They're going to have to run it right and run it over the right side of this offensive line.
This time they're going to hand it off up the middle of Headings. Headings jumps one, still on his feet, going to be finally drugged down, but Gary, he's going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
He's going to be about 2 yards short. They're going to mark him about the 28-yard line, so it'll be 4th down and 2, and I believe, where York's at on the field, you got to believe it's going to be a punt situation for them.
We have seen York go for it in this situation, though, Gary.
Well, they brought in another extra guy here, and Leftview's coming on the field, so it looks like they're going to go for it here. And, they're on their own 28-yard line, and big play for York right here.
Here if you're Signal Mountain, you got to be composed and not jump.
Yeah, you do. And if you're York, you got to execute the play.
They're going to hand it off. No, it's going to be Lefeview on the keeper. Lefeview on the left side. He's got the first down and more. He's going to get about 5 on the carry. So Derwin, the Riverboat Gambler, goes for it, Gary, and gets the first down.
Nice play, and that was a read option for Landrick, and they had the fullback boxed up. They had Headings boxed up, Gary, and he wasn't going to get that first down. Good, smart play by Lefeview to pull that down, take off over to the left tackle, and got about 6 yards out of that, moved it out to the 35-yard line.
And I think we got a personal foul on the end of face mask, Gary, so tack on 15, so that's a 20-yard play.
Yeah, got about 21 yards out of that in that. So, more importantly, that's going to move it out to midfield, Gary.
Both teams, Gary, have made some really bad penalties in this game.
Signal Mountain has made more than York has, and that's a big one there. And to get a personal foul face mask even after he gets the first down, a good positive play for York.
York now with a 1st and 10 at the 49, and what do we got now? We got
false start, York.
Now we're
getting. He's calling it on Lathan Drake, number 2, out here. Said he moved before the snap, so calling that on the wide receiver and backing him up 5 yards.
So now that's going to make it 1st and 15, as they say Drake moved over here on the right side. So the official was right there by him, Gary. And now it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Dragons. And, Gary, you just, like I said, you want to eat this clock up, get another score, and make it really tough on the Eagles to come back in this one.
Yeah, you're about 2.5 minutes into this drive, and you got a big penalty there to help you move it out near midfield. York got to keep it moving here.
And they hand it off up the middle, and that's Headings making the pile move. And Headings going to be brought down at about the 46 of the Eagles, Gary. And he's going to get a big chunk of it back right there. It's going to be 2nd and about 7, maybe 6.
Yeah, they marked it at the 47, so it's going to be about 2nd and 6 here. And he got about 9 yards on that carry, Gary. Good strong run up the middle by Josiah.
The Jackhammer with a big run, and the Dragons now got a 2nd and at least more advantageous, I guess is the word I'm looking for. As they're going to hand off up the middle to Cooper this time, and Ben Cooper going banging straight ahead, Gary, and the big fullback's going 1-2 on him.
Yeah, and he moves about 4 yards there, moved it down to the 43-yard line.
And Talent's hurt again. Aaron Talent, that was a problem. Aaron's been out the last couple games with an injury, Gary, and he's going back out again. And that's probably going to bring Bryce Slavin back in. And Slavin's played some good games here in the last few weeks in that spot.
Yeah, he is coming in, and we see Talent hobbling off. Obviously re-aggravated that injury, Gary, and he's coming off the field, and it's a big 3rd and 2 here for York with a new offensive lineman. Let's see if they run it over this right side this time.
And in the backfield, they're going to hand it off up the middle to Headings. Headings still on his feet, and the Jackhammer up to the 40, going to get a 1st and 10 for the Dragons, Gary, and it's you're going to have to get more than one guy in to try to knock Josiah Headings down.
And that's exactly what they done. I think he got a little bit shaken up here too, Gary. He's hobbling off as well right now. So.
He's had that knee injury, Gary. He got that back in that game against Sequatchie County.
He is. He looks to be all right over there, kind of walking it off. I believe he'll be okay here, and just maybe got knocked around a little bit there, and he looks to be walking it off over there behind the York bench.
And the Dragons now come up with a 1st and 10 at the 40 of the Eagles. They hand it out. Cooper drops it, and the ball's on the ground, Gary, and I believe maybe the Eagles come up with it.
They do. They got the recovery.
Now York's saying they got it.
York does have it.
York come up with it. Woo!
Yeah, York, they look like they had it, and the official comes in and signals it for York, and that play, Cole Cooper never got the handoff. That handoff was good, Gary. He just never did pull it in, and
we talked about the Cole and the fumbles, Gary. It's a game changer.
Yeah, and he never did get the handle on it and fumbled it. Fortunately, York able to fall on it.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Dragons. They actually got about a half a yard on that one. They'll give it up the middle. No, it's going to be Lefevue on the keeper left side. Lefevue's got some room. Going to pitch it at the last moment to Miller. Miller's down the sideline all the way to the 13-yard line for a 1st and 10 Dragons.
That's exactly how you operate the option, Gary. Lefevue faked that to Josiah up the gut, and then
Lefevue's hobbling.
Yeah, Lefevue hobbling a little bit there.
Not Lefevue, but Miller.
Yeah, Miller got hit out of bounds. But Lefevue took that till he took the contact and made a great pitch to Miller, who was following him up the sideline. And they got an extra 10, 12 yards out of that. And they're in business here about the 16-yard line, Gary.
So 1st and 10 Dragons at the 16. They'll hand it off up the middle, and that one's not going to get much, Gary, as they got a couple of yards out of it.
Ben Cooper on the carry. Looked like he may have moved it inside. Well, no, he didn't even get – well, yeah, he got to about the 14, so he got about 2 yards out of that, Gary.
And now they're going to bring Headings back in. They like to run behind Headings when they don't hand it off to him, Gary. But we've almost choked out 6 minutes of this clock here in the 3rd quarter.
It's been the drive we were looking for, Gary. It's been ran to perfection so far. York just got to finish it here.
And now they're going to hand to Headings up the middle, and Headings going to bust through. Still on his feet, fighting. He's still driving in. He's going to be brought down at the 3-yard line, and the Jackhammer. Gary puts him at 1st and goal from the 3, and Gary, he was about one guy hanging on his ankle away from being in the end zone.
Yeah, that guy wouldn't let go. He was trying to drag him, couldn't do it, and help finally came, brought him down. they actually look like they've marked this on the 4, but it'll be first and goal for York from the 4 here.
And, Gary, it was a good thing they were able to recover that fumble earlier. That could have been huge in this ball game. And now the Dragons got it first and goal from the 4 as they go up the middle with Cooper. And Cooper going to be hit, Gary. He may have got a yard before he's driven back.
Yeah, they're going to give him close to 2 here, I think, Gary. But he didn't get that handoff cleanly. He bobbled that a little bit before he went into the line, and fortunately able to hang on to it. York got to tighten this up here. Don't give up a fumble now. And
I hope we didn't jinx him by saying that before.
This is a 7-minute drive right now, and you're down here knocking on the door. You want to finish this.
Just what the doctor ordered on this one, as they're getting set now for second and goal from the 3-yard line. They'll hand it off up the middle of Headings. He bangs straight ahead for the – wait for it. Touchdown, Dragons! I like that dramatic stuff, folks.
Josiah just over the left side, banged off of his own man right into the end zone for the York touchdown. So, perfect. 6 minutes, 54 seconds. You couldn't ask for anything better for York right now.
And now they needs West to tack on the extra point. It's down, it's up. It is good with 5:06 left to go in the third. The Dragons take a 21-0 lead.
A great football program is built on teamwork, and so is a great company like Micro Metals Incorporated of Jamestown. We're inviting you to come join our team. We are now hiring for different positions. We offer several benefits, including medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, short-term disability, 8 paid holidays, paid vacation after 6 months, profit sharing, 401k retirement, and more. Apply in person at 1049 Owens Road, Jamestown, or online at powdermetalparts.net.
Back here where the York Dragons just take a 21-0 lead. Now, folks, I don't say I'm psychic because that was a 7-minute drive, just what I said we really needed before we started that third quarter. But some people say I'm psychotic, but that's a whole different ball game, Gary.
Well, perfect drive by York. You just couldn't have done that any better. They controlled the line of scrimmage, moved the ball 4 or 5 yards at a time, and got some big third downs, a big fourth down, and a personal foul aid on top of it. And, we ended up cashing that in, and, you got to feel like you're in control if you're York.
And now a short squib punt's going to go, or kickoff is going to go out of bounds, and that's going to give it to the Eagles, Gary, I think right at the 35.
Yeah, it'll be at the 35, so it'll be first and 10 for them at the 35. They've had pretty good starting field position on their kickoffs tonight, Gary, so not real bad, but you'd like for that to stay in bounds, and because York had the coverage down there.
So now it's going to be first and 10 from the 35. Gary, we still got 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. There's still a lot of time on the clock. I mean, this game's not over by a long shot.
Not
as
over.
Quickly as Lowry and his guys can move the football down the field.
Yeah, we've seen them make a couple of big plays here. York done a good job defensively, though. They've held them down, done a great job, and only a couple of the long completions, so they wouldn't have any yards at all, Gary. But they have shown they can strike. York got to be aware of it, and continue to force the action.
And York is bringing the heat again, and Lowry's going to be hit, and Lowry's going to be dropped. He drops the football, and York's going to come up with it. The Dragons, another big play as they drive Lowry into the dirt, Gary, and that's just mountain tough football.
Yeah, that was Cole Cooper there first. Finally got a good hold on him. Landry Clefeview come put the additional hit on him, cost him the fumble, and I didn't see. Somebody else picked up the fumble. I didn't see who that was.
Either.
And, good play by York. That's what you want to do. You got to bring the pressure. You can't pull back and play prevent. They're going to pick you apart if you do that. So great job by the Dragons to get the ball back here.
And, Gary, there's one old saying about quarterbacks. They can't throw on their back or their stomachs. As it's going to be York handed off to Miller, left side. Miller trying to bounce it outside. Going to pick up about 6 on the carry, Gary. Good run by Miller.
Yeah, he moved it down to they're going to move this back, Gary. He actually going to be spied about the 18, it looks like, so only about 4 yards on that carry.
So 2nd and 6 now for the Dragons as they are right about the 19-yard line.
18. It's on the 18, so it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Dragons. Good run though on first down, 4 yards. You want that all day long.
Eat this clock when you're this close in, and now they're going to hand off Cooper up the middle. Ben banging straight ahead, gets up over the 15, and Gary, that's going to make it 3rd down and manageable.
It's about 3rd and 2. They're going to mark this. They're marking it right at the 15-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 3 here, and. A big 3rd down for York. This is 2-down territory, though. You got 2 plays to get 3 yards here.
And, Gary, with that turnover now, York's had the ball pretty much this entire quarter, and we're down under 4 minutes to play.
Yeah, I mean, they only have about 3 or 4 seconds they took to run that one play time possession this quarter. So York just has seized the opportunities tonight, turned them into points, and, an outstanding performance by the Dragons here through 2 3/4 of a quarter.
Left you under center, going to hand it off up the middle to Headings, and Headings pushing the pile, and Headings still pushing the pile, and finally they bring the rest of the team in and a couple of cheerleaders to bring him down, but not before. It looks like, Gary, he's got another 1st down for the Dragons, 1st and goal.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to spot this inside the 10, so it'll be 1st and goal Dragons here, and nice strong run by Josiah to drag a couple of guys, get the 1st down, and
actually they're marking it right on the 10.
One thing we clearly see, and it's starting to become evident now, York is the stronger, more physical team here, and they're starting to really push the Signal Mountain line around.
And now the Dragons come up. They'll hand it to Ben Cooper up the middle. Ben's going to get up inside the 5 to the 4, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now for the Dragons. And Ben Cooper's been coming in doing some good things as well, Gary. He's got having a good ball game.
That was a nice run by Ben Cooper. He made the first guy miss, got through the line, got back into the linebackers before they were able to bring him down.
So now it's going to be 2nd and goal for the Dragons. From the 4-yard line, York trying to push this in and make it a 4-possession ball game with just 2.5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. York has had the football almost the entire 3rd quarter. As Lefevue coming up, he's taking his time, too. He's watching the clock, Gary. They're going to run some time off the clock. As now the official raises that hand, that means you got 5 seconds. And York will snap it. And York going to fumble it, but Lefevue falls on it.
That one was on Landrick. He didn't get the snap. It hit him right in the hands. He didn't pull it in. And, so that one, York avoids another miscue here, falls on that ball, and a break for York. And it looks like we got a penalty. False start, so it would have been blown dead anyhow. But anyhow, that's going to back it up to about the 10.
But it keeps you the down, though, Gary. It should be 2nd and about goal from the 9.
It'll be 2nd and goal here.
So York with a 2nd and goal from the 9, and that's just going to keep the clock running, folks. Going to take more time off the clock.
We see Kay Brandon in at one of the wings, too. Miller out of the game right now at the moment, Gary.
Miller was hobbling a little bit earlier. Well, he may be a little injured now, and York just taking their time. Down under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. And they're waiting for the official to raise that arm. And now he does. Lefevue will get under center. Got a man in motion. Going to hand it off up the middle to Headings. Headings straight ahead. Gets to about the 4. Now we got a penalty on that one, Gary, and that may be a face mask there, and that may be the way they brought him down because he went down kind of head first.
He did, and it looked like his momentum would carry him that way, but that flag came in right on the pile, so fully expect that this will be maybe some kind of face mask penalty.
And that should be half the distance to the goal, and Gary, that'll probably keep it 2nd down.
No, they're calling illegal block against York, so they're going to back this up.
So that's
I didn't see a blocker in that pile. It's only Josiah, I think. So I'm not sure where that one came from. That was thrown into the pile.
Yeah, that was thrown as the play ended as well. That's what threw me on that one. That backs it all the way up to the 15-yard line. Going to make it 2nd and goal from the 15. Got a man in motion. They'll hand it off up. It's going to be Lefevue on the keeper. Lefevue over the left side, still on his feet. Now he's finally driven back, but he gets about to the 5-yard line. And a little extracurricular after the whistle, Gary.
Yeah, they kept going a little bit after the whistle there. No flag that I see this time, but Lefevue kept that and tried to move the pile forward. They stood him up. He gets about 7 yards out of it, I think. So, It's going to be third and goal from about the 8, according to the official on our side of the field.
And Gary, well, by the time they snap this third quarter is going to be almost over as we're down to 70 seconds.
Yeah. So they actually looks like it's going to be on about the 8-yard line. So it'll be third down goal from the 8-yard line.
Gary, whatever York does on this one should take us to the end of the third quarter, and if they can punch it in here, or even if they get to fourth down, it's going to be at the end of the third quarter, and they're going to be up 3 scores and knocking on the door.
Yeah, you got to think this whole quarter's belong to York for sure.
And now York gets the snap off just in time to hand it off over the right side. Pushing forward is Cole Cooper to about it looks like the 3-yard line.
They're going to mark him about the 4, it looks like, Gary. So it'll be fourth and goal from the 4 here. And York probably have to run a play here at the end of the quarter.
And a little extracurricular at the end, and they pull one of the York players back to keep from getting a penalty. And that was 77 for York, I believe. They pulled back. That was Thomas Cooper. Don't want to get a penalty here, folks.
No penalty, and they're not going to run play. We're going to go to the fourth quarter.
Well, York owned the third quarter, folks, because they're the only ones that had the ball during it. As we head to the final frame, it's a 21-0 Dragon lead.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. When you schedule your fall maintenance with Condition Heating and Cooling, they will clean, calibrate, test, and ensure your heating system is in proper working order. Let them find and correct issues before they become major problems. Or you can take advantage of discounts up to $1,000 on new energy-saving American Standard heating and air conditioning units. See dealer for details. Offer won't last long, so call to schedule your appointment today.
Call 879-5909. Conditioned Heating and Cooling.
And back here where, Gary, the third quarter's history now, and the Dragons had it pretty much the entire third quarter.
Yeah, they did, Gary, and, time of possession definitely swung in the way of the Dragons now, and they ran the one play, which couldn't have been no more than 5 or 6 seconds, and that's the only time they had the ball, because the kickoff went out of bounds. So no time expired there, and
25-26 to 10-34.
Yeah, so they were about 3 minutes ahead at halftime, and a little less than 3 minutes of time possession. Now they're 15 minutes ahead. So a great third quarter by York. You really couldn't have scripted it any better, and the only thing better right now is to get this ball in the end zone on fourth down.
Yeah, don't want to give it back to them with only a 3-score lead where you can punch it up to 4. And it looks like Johan West coming in, Gary. I see Johan out there.
Yeah, the tee's out there, so it looks like they're going to attempt the field goal here.
It's going to be about a 22-yarder?
22, 23 yards. It looks like it's on about the 12, so it'll be about 22 yards.
We'll see York going for the field goal here and make it a 4-possession game. This is something we've not seen a whole lot from York. We've seen it a couple times this season.
Yeah,
you seen that against Sequatchie, it was devastating.
Well, he can kick his field goal. The thing is, they have not contained the line of scrimmage on kicks tonight, and Signal Mountain has sent a couple of guys free off the corner.
And the snap is down. Holgren gets it down. The kick is up. The kick is no good. Missed it off to the right. So with 11:56 to go here in the fourth quarter, it's now a 21-0 York lead.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and a gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1290 Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
Well, York now gives it back to Signal Mountain at the 20-yard line. Lowry in the shotgun gets a high snap. He'll throw this one out quickly. Got a couple of men ahead to block it, and got a man down the sideline. He's still on his feet. Gets up to about the 35-yard line, steps out of bounds, Gary.
Yeah, got a couple of blocks and moved that up. It looked like York might contain it, but actually it got away from him, and, they get about 15 yards out of that, Gary.
And hurry-up offense now by the Eagles, trailing by 21 with 11:49 to go in the game.
look for them to make short, quick passes here, Gary. They're going to look to get it in their guys' hands.
And now the quarterback drops it, and he is dropped after that, Gary. That was a situation where Lowry looked run before he looked catch, and he got leveled for it.
Well, Cole Cooper was right there, and Cole, put him down quickly, and that's a loss of about 5, so it'll be 2nd and 15.
2nd and long now for the Eagles as they drop back. It'll be in the shotgun, Lowry. York showing blitz, and we got movement somewhere. We got.
That has to be a false start. They blew it dead. So.
York was making that motion like they were coming full bore, Gary, and that caused one of the linemen to jump.
They were blitzing Cole Cooper off the left side, and I believe they were blitzing maybe left you off the right side. So they were seeing a guy off each edge and caused the guy to move early.
2nd now and about 25, or about, they
20.
say 12, about 20 to go.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and 20 here.
As back goes the quarterback. He bobbles it again, and now he's going to run for his life again. He's going to throw it, picked up! York with the interception down the sideline. Now they'll take it all the way down to the 5-yard line. And, Gary, who was that on the interception?
Cade Brandon on the interception, and what a great play by York. They had him wrapped up. He just tried to throw it away, and Brandon – right there on the spot to intercept the ball, and looked like, he tried to stay on his feet. He's really wanting to get in the end zone there. Instead, down about the 6-yard line.
And, Gary, that's the 2nd interception for Brandon in the 4th quarter of a ball game.
It is, and it's the 3rd turnover tonight for Signal Mountain. And, York cashed one of them in, didn't the other one. See what they do with this one, but this one could pretty much end this thing, I think, Gary.
York now going to come up with it 1st and goal at about the 6-yard line. Got a man in motion. They'll give it off to Cooper, left side. He's going to be hit and going to move forward to about the 4-yard line.
That was actually Cade Brandon on the carry there. I think they gave him the carry, tried to get him in the end zone carry, and they bottled him up pretty good. He may have got a yard out of it.
And we see Miller come back out. Gary, Miller don't look 100% out there. He's a little bit gimpy there.
Well, yeah, he took a hit to the leg area, and he seems to be moving all right, though, Gary. We'll see here. He may get a handoff here.
Now in motion, they'll give it off to Cooper, right side. Cooper trying to bounce it outside, and he's going to be dropped again, Gary. That outside bounce move has just not worked for the Dragons.
They can string that out. They're fast enough to string that out to the sideline, and they very effectively done that, Gary. And, you need to turn that ball up the field. You got to turn it up the field. Coach Wright, I believe, is called timeout here just for that reason.
Timeout on the field with 10:14 to go here in the ball game. 21-0. York.
Over 80% of business owners say loyal customers are the keys to a successful business. At Hall Family Pharmacy, we appreciate our loyal customers and want to thank you by offering you a copay pass. With the Hall Family Pharmacy Customer Loyalty Program, come by the pharmacy and pick up a punch card. Every time you fill a prescription, you will get a punch on the card. When the card is full, bring it in and get your copay pass. It's a simple way for us to say thank you for your business. So stop by Hall Family Pharmacy to get your Customer Loyalty Program punch card today.
Well, back here where we got 10:14 to go, and folks, the stand's kind of filing out. It looks like we're at the Johnny Depp movie right now. Nobody pretty much left for the team from Signal Mountain. Gary, their fans starting to head toward to the exits.
A few have. They still got a few here, and I think they're supportive of their bunch. But York has come in and dominated this one so far, Gary, and not give them nothing to cheer for. I think Coach Wright called that for a couple of reasons. One, because they bounced it out, and the other one, because they're not being physical.
And now this time it's going to be Cooper throwing it at, or nephew tosses it out. Did he get there?
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Dragons! Great play by Landry Cliffview, Gary. A little back pass that was out the outside guy to get in the end zone.
Well, that was an option-type play keeper, and I don't think he intended on pitching that, but he really didn't have anywhere to run, Gary, and he just kind of tossed it out there to Cole Cooper, and he's able to get in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
27-0 now with 10 minutes, 4 seconds left to go in the ball game, and York now looking ahead to next week as the kick is up. The kick is good. Johan West drills it through. We got 10:04 to go, and York's on top, 28-0.
He's on the 30. He's on the 20. He's on the 10. It's a touchdown.
There's nothing like football. The lights, the cheers of the crowd, and getting a chance to see our local athletes and kids give it all they've got. Come to a game. Support our local schools. Upper Cumberland Federal Credit Union. A better way to bank. Federally insured by NCUA. Online at ucfcu.org.
Well, Gary, York has had the football now. They had it the entire third quarter and 2 minutes in this quarter. If I'm the offense for Signal Mountain, I might be a little bit cold.
Yeah, they've stood over here a long time, Gary, and York has dominated the second half. You couldn't have really scripted it any better. You wanted ball control, you wanted to win the line of scrimmage, and you wanted to get points out of it, and they've done all of those.
And now York will kick it away. It's going to be Johan West to kick it away. And Johan will kick it short and to the right side, and that's going to hit and roll. The back man will pick it up, and he steps out of bounds with it.
Yeah, he hit out of bounds, and they're going to mark that about the 14-yard line, it looks like, Gary.
So if the old saying, if anything can go wrong, will go wrong at the worst possible time, was written about Signal Mountain, Tennessee tonight, folks.
Yeah, they have, their struggles are real right now, and they're looking for anything, to get something going, and it's just not happening for them, Gary. They just can't get anything going on. Offense, kick returns, anything in the second half.
So now up will come the Eagles with a 1st and 10 at their own 14. They'll snap it, hand it off up the middle to Russell. Russell breaks a tackle, and then he gets a drill. And he got held up and then leveled, Gary, by the Dragon defense.
Yeah, he made the first guy miss and broke through the line, but there's about 3 guys there to clean him up. And, he got about 4 yards out of that and moved it out to about the 19-yard line.
So 2nd and 6 now for the Eagles. Snap back. They're going to throw it across. Man, batted down. Good play by Josiah Eddings.
Yeah, he got his hand up, knocked that ball down. I thought he was going to intercept it there for a minute, Gary, but, knocked away from him, fell down. But a good play by Josiah. And that's what you do as a rusher is, if you see you're not getting to the quarterback, you got to try to get your hands up. And he did. Real good play by Josiah over there.
Well, one final already in Alcoa won tonight. Are you surprised? They picked Claiborne County 56-0. And now the Dragons looking to put some heat on Lowry. Lowry going to throw it out to the right side. Good move by the quarterback, but a good tackle by the Dragons. I believe that's Barger making the stop over there.
That was Lathan Drake. Lathan Drake made the tackle, and good play by him to grab him by the ankles. He had him beat, and got around him, but Lathan grabbed him by the ankles. Still a first down for Signal Mountain at the 26-yard line, Gary.
So up will come Signal Mountain with a 1st and 10. They'll snap it back to Lowry. Lowry getting some heat. He's going to doff this one up, and nobody close to that. And Barger actually closer to that one than anybody, Gary.
Yeah, they were bringing the heat. Cole Cooper had gotten there, and he just could not get the ball away.
Well, I'm going to give you a second quarter score that's going to surprise you, Gary. At the second quarter, it's 14-14. Loudon and Upperman in the second quarter tied at 14 apiece.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise there, and, Loudon, a little bigger area than maybe even Cookville even, and probably it sounds like they brought a good, inspired football team to Baxter tonight, giving the Upperman all they want.
And now rolling out will be the quarterback, Lowry. And we got a flag there. That's going to be a holding right there, Gary. That's thrown right in the area of holding.
It is, and but that's actually a good offensive call by Signal Mountain. You want to get him out of the pocket. He's getting killed staying in the pocket, Gary. And they rolled him out on that play, gave him an opportunity. You got to get him out of the pocket to where he can manage to rush a little bit.
And he made a nice throw on it, even though he was on the run, Gary. But he had a little help as they held him up, and that's going to make it 2nd and about probably 20.
Be 2nd and 25, I think, after the false start, too. So going to put it on the 15, and actually, no, it'd be about 22 yards. He's got to get to the 37 to get a first down.
A long way. We'll go anyway as we go into the 9-minute mark as Lowry back in the shotgun. Lowry rolling now. He's going to get big rush. They're setting up the screen. Perfect setup to Russell. Russell still on his feet. Russell breaks a tackle. Russell looks like he may be headed to the house. He is going to break away, and that's going to be a long touchdown screen for the Eagles of Signal Mountain.
Yeah, you could see that play was going to be successful, Gary. You know, York had 4 rushers break through, and, you know, as soon as the back got the ball, York had a couple of chances with their defensive backs and safety to make a tackle. Missed a couple of tackles and allowed him to spring free up the sideline, and 85 yards for the touchdown.
And Gary, that is one way to break that rush out like that blitz, is to throw that little screen pass, let them come and dump it off.
Well, they made a couple of good play calls there. You know, York will adjust a little bit here, but, you know, the shutout's off, but York's still in control.
And the kick is good, so now with 8:40 to go, it's 28-7, York.
Like a great sports team needs a great captain to lead them, a county needs a great executive to move it forward, and Fentress County has it in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy believes in this county and its endless possibilities. So for great sports and a great county, be like County Executive Jimmy Johnson and back Fentress County all the way.
Back here where, Gary, the Eagles just put a score on the board, and still 8:40 left to go, but they're 3 touchdowns down. Now York just needs to get those good hands people up front.
Yeah, you do have to protect against an onside kick here. You know, it'd be interesting to see what they do, and I'm looking to see what York's doing. They don't have any of necessarily the hands guys up front here, so you know, they got a couple of guys playing shallow. Lefty's moved up to about, you know, 2 or 3 yards behind the York first line, and you know, so they're kind of guarding against the onside kick. We'll see what happens.
Upperman has just scored. They take a 21-14 lead over Loudon in the second quarter. That's who York will be playing the winner of that one if they can hold on to this here with 8:40 to go. And the onside kick's going to be a roller. Gets through. Heading's going to pick it up. Heading's going to break through it. Heading's headed down the sideline. One man to beat. He'll stiff arm him, and he's headed to the end zone for a touchdown, Dragons.
What a play. You know, they moved Josiah and moved Landrick up there. The ball bounced through the first line. York got the blocks. Josiah picks it up, and, you know, only guy he had to beat was the kicker. Beat him easily and got the touchdown.
So York now goes up to a 34-7 now, looking to make it 35-7. So a quick answer for York on that big play by Signal Mountain.
Big play of their own, Gary, you know, and they were ready for the onside kick. You know, great execution on that play.
And I think Signal Mountain might want to get a special teams coach before next year.
Well, their special teams has failed them tonight. They you know, seem to be one of their strengths, and they have lost the special teams game badly.
And the kick is up. The kick is good with 8.5 minutes exactly left to go in the ball game. It's 35-7, York.
At Twin Lakes, we believe in innovation and moving our communities and schools forward with technology. We know the importance of community support, and that's why we are honored to sponsor community grants and scholarships, support our local elementary schools, build internship programs for graduating seniors, partner with the Foundation for Rural Service to provide youth tours to Washington, D.C., and so much more. Twin Lakes is proud to live in and support our local community. For more information on Twin Lakes community programs, visit twinlakes.net.
Well, the York Dragons now lead at 35-7, Gary. So a quick score by the Eagles, and the Dragons turn it right back around on the special teams.
Yeah, you know, great special teams play, and you know, York plays good special teams, Gary. You know, but Signal Mountain was kind of known for theirs, but York clearly won the special teams game tonight.
The onside kick did not work and failed in the worst way for the Eagles, as their special teams once again let them down in this fourth quarter. West to kick it away. Johan will kick it deep this time and kicks it backpedaling all the way to the 13 is the Eagles, and he'll come up and he's going to be ran out of bounds at about, looks like about the 26, 27-yard line, Gary.
Yeah, and that was number 14. That was Braden Kastner on the return. So he moves it up to about the 26-yard line, and that's where Signal Mountain will compete and play.
Gary, now you've seen that little screen. Do you keep somebody back to protect and still rush, or do you send everybody?
I think you still got to rush. You're still going to blitz. Maybe you hold a guy back now. You know, they've been blitzing at least 2 on every play, and maybe you blitz 1, and, you know, it doesn't matter if it's Lefeview or if it's Cole Cooper. When they brought them off the edge, they seem to be finding their way to the quarterback.
And Lowry back in the shotgun, got a man in motion. He's going to throw it out. He's going to kick it out over to the right side, and falling down as he had tried to make the move was, looks like, is that number 5?
It is. That's Williams on the.
Travion Williams fell down and got about a yard on it, so it's going to make it 2nd and long for the Eagles.
Yeah, and, you know, he had some room because, you know, he had to beat. He was looking at Thomas Cooper, and that's the guy he had to beat, and he would have beat him easily and got some good yardage on that. Instead, he slipped and fell, Gary.
And now they're going to roll. This time they're going to roll the quarterback out to the left side. He's going to throw it on the run. Got short arm that one, Gary, and lucky that one picked off.
Well, he couldn't get anything on the throw. You know, he threw off his. He didn't throw off his front foot. He threw off his back foot, and didn't have nothing on that throw. And you know, actually Barger was probably the closest guy to it, and it bounced 5 yards in front of him.
3rd now and 9 for the Eagles.
You know, one thing about Lowry has a good arm, but, you know, you got to have time to throw, and York's not given any opportunity to throw. And we see them moving the pocket now, rolling it out, trying to throw screens, you know, trying to do anything to get their offense started.
So now up come the Eagles. They've got it 3rd and 9 from their own 27-yard line. They'll drive it back. They'll quick out this one. That one almost. It is picked off. What a play.
Johan West.
Johan West coming just took that one away, Gary, and the Dragons back in possession.
Yeah, you know, that ball bobbled. You know, he made a good hit just to, you know, dislodge the ball and then able to come up with it, Gary. And York will take over deep in Signal Mountain territory once again.
1st and 10 right at the 21, isn't it, Gary?
22, I think, is where they'll spot this and where we'll start scrimmage. And, you know, York, very opportunistic tonight, Gary. The defense has played outstanding. You know, they gave up a couple of plays, but all in all, they played outstanding tonight. Done a real good job on the defensive side of the ball.
And Gary, York scores here. We go into the mercy rule, so we'll see what happens here as he'll hand off Cole Cooper right side. He goes straight ahead, going to move the pile for about 5 on the first carry.
They marking him about the 17, so he'll get 5 on that one. A good strong run by Cole. That right side has been open, Gary, and you know York probably hadn't ran it that way enough, and but they have gotten effective yards, sometimes hard yards over that right side, but they have gotten positive yardage all night long.
So now it's 2nd and a nickel, but more importantly, Gary, we're down to the 7-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. York punches in, and here the clock doesn't stop from this point on.
No, you know, and they've held time of possession. The clock's ran the whole second half, really, you know, because they've kept it on the ground, kept it in bounds, and you just want to keep doing that if you're York.
And Lefeview going to take his time. He'll take the snap, hand it off up the middle, and a couple of yards maybe on that one. Was that Ben on the carry on that one?
It was Ben Cooper on the carry. Moved it down to about the 15, so it's going to be 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 for the Dragons. 4 down territory here, but more importantly, we'll be under the 6-minute mark probably before this next snap. So York's got the clock running in their favor. They've got the lead, and they've got looks like a ticket to the 2nd round of the playoffs coming up.
Yeah, they do, and, you know, just a fabulous second half for the Dragons.
Lefeview under center. Got a man in motion. He'll hand off up the middle to Headings. Headings still pushing forward, and Headings going to get enough for the first down. Gary's he got about 4 on the carry.
Moved it down to the 10, got about 5 on that one, so it'll be, I think they're going to mark it 1st and goal here. I don't think they're going, well, I can't hardly see it from here. It may be touching the 10. It is, so it should be 1st and goal, I would think, although they're setting the markers. Nope, they're pulling them off, so it's 1st and goal now.
1st and goal from right at the 10-yard line. So we talked about the crowd filing out a minute ago. Now They're really starting to roll out as this game is out of reach for the Eagles, and their 6-game win streak going to go by the wayside here tonight as the Dragons come in here and show them a little mountain football. And that's kind of ironic, as now Leffie's going to roll. Leffie's going to be brought down way back at the 13. Gary lost some yardage on that one.
That was a busted play, Gary, and, he was looking for Cooper to hand the ball to. Well, Cooper had ran around the play, so it's, loss of about 3, and that'll make it 2nd and goal from the 13.
So 2nd and goal from the 13. But, Gary, I said that was kind of ironic that we're showing mountain football considering we're at Signal Mountain and the Dragons showing them how they play at York.
Well, yeah, I mean, York been the more physical team tonight, and it's definitely won the line of scrimmage. And, if you're York, that's their football. They have to do those things in order to win most times, and have certainly dominated in the second half thanks to a couple of turnovers as well.
Leffie going to hand it off this time to Lathan Drake. He's going to throw it. He's got a man out there, but he can't get to it, Gary. As that time, Drake, I think, wanted to go a little farther out before he threw the ball, but they had a man right in his face.
Yeah, they brought a man off the edge, and he was there, and he really didn't get squared to throw that ball. Cade Brandon was running a post route an out route towards the corner of the end zone. Probably a well-thrown ball he could have caught, but that one wasn't even close to him, and probably a good thing it wouldn't. They had a defender there and an opportunity maybe to get a turnover.
And that's the first incomplete pass of the night for York.
Yeah, it is. They hadn't had to throw much, so trying to score though.
They're going to hand it off this time to Brandon, I believe, and Brandon's going to be ran out of bounds right about the 9-yard line, Gary. They pitched it out to Brandon. And Brandon's coming, I guess we've seen the last of Miller. He was hobbling a little bit, so don't think we'll see him the rest of the evening.
Maybe not. He's standing over there, and, it's actually Ben Cooper going to bring the play in here. Josiah going out, but, probably not a need for Miller right now. It's 4th and goal from the 9. York going to line up and go for this.
Yeah, York will go for it here as might be an opportunity to practice your field goal kicking, but York's not been too successful as of late. I think they're 1 of 3 on the year from field goals.
Maybe try a couple of plays you worked on in practice here and make something work.
Now Leffie going to throw down. They're going to be too high for Daedric Phillips. Going to be incomplete, and the Eagles hold, Gary, with 4:21. They'll take over at about their own 9-yard line.
9-yard line's where they'll take over. A good strong throw by Leffie. There was a defender in front of Phillips, and Phillips tried to get his hands up, just couldn't get him on the ball, and it sailed out of the back of the end zone.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. York are going to be advancing on right now. It looks like if this holds up, Upperman on top 21-14 in the second quarter. If Upperman holds on to win, we'll be at Upperman. If not, I think York would host if it come between them and Loudon.
They would. They would be the host team next week.
So come on, Loudon. Is it the Redskins, I believe, from Loudon?
It is.
Go Redskins. Now Lowry going to draw back. He's going to throw one across the middle, and that one's batted away. Great play in the middle by Ben Cooper. We've been calling his name a lot tonight on defense.
We have. Ben got a hand on that, tipped it. Actually, the receiver out there, and I think that might have been number 5, Travion Williams, got a hand on it as well. Or if he didn't, it possibly could have been picked off by the deep man there, which was I'm trying to see. I think that is 36, that'll be C.J. Wall, I think, and he was there maybe to pick that pass off if the guy doesn't get a hand on it.
And now they're going to hand it off up the middle, and that's going to be up to about the 20-yard line, going to be enough for, I believe, a first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, and C.J. Wall making the tackle there, coming up to make the tackle on that one, but enough for the first down, and Signal Mountain will move the chains here.
We're down under 4 minutes left to go in this one, folks. We're about maybe 10 minutes away from starting to head home here tonight as this one going to be snapped back. Rolling out is the quarterback. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to run into his own man, then be tripped up after he gets about 13 yards and a first down to the 38-yard line, or 33-yard line of York, or of their own, I should say.
Yeah, Cade Brandon knocked him off balance, but it's Ben Cooper make the tackle there, and Ben, his number called again here.
Up quickly comes the Eagles. They're no huddle. They'll snap back. They drop the football again, and running for his life is Lowry, and Lowry's still running for his life. Now Lowry's going to be hit from behind. Now, almost picked off, but caught by the Eagles, and that's going to be a touchdown Eagles as the Dragons, Gary, had the Barger there. He had it in his hands and went right through his hands and into the hands of the receiver.
Yeah, that Travion Williams, the receiver, gets the touchdown. Lowry again feeling pressure. Leftview hit him as he threw the ball, and York has a golden opportunity to get an interception. State goes for a touchdown.
And Barger, actually, Gary, Dad Barger not been there and hit his hands and went up in the air a little bit. I don't know if Williams would have been able to catch it.
No, that ball was hot coming in, and, he may have caught it. I don't know that Barger misdirected the flight of it too much, but he had a chance to pick it off, didn't get it.
The kick is good, so with 3:20 to go in the ball game, it's 35-13 York.
Jamestown Regional has always been committed to providing the highest quality of patient care. We work hard every day to contribute to the health of our patients and to the well-being of our community by providing many jobs and services. Now we are proud to be serving our community once again as Jamestown Regional Medical Center. JRMC, a Renova Health company, will continue the tradition of providing quality care, comprehensive services, and an experienced team of physicians and caregivers.
Well, Gary, that one, a fortuitous Travion Williams on that one because it went through the hands of Barger. Barger almost had his first interception, but went off his hands and right to Williams for an easy touchdown.
It did, Gary, and he had both hands on the ball, and it just went right through him and right into the hands of Williams, who carried it on in for the touchdown. He didn't have anybody around him. The extra point was missed, so it was 35-13.
And the onside kick going to be picked up by the man, and he is run out of bounds at about the 49-yard line, Gary. So the Eagles get the onside back, so their special teams that let them down all night has now come up with a couple of big plays.
Yeah, and York didn't go after that ball, Gary. I don't know if they expected to go out of bounds or what, but Signal Mountain coming after it is able to pick it up and run, grab it before it got out of bounds. So they've got it at the 49. York going to have to put the defense back out here with 3:18 to go.
And, Gary, that's something that Coach Derwin Wright will be upset about because that's first giveaway for the Dragons tonight.
Yeah, it is, and a big one at that point also.
Snap back to Lowry. That one's going to be off the hands of York, a defender again. And
Drake on that one, and went through his hands. He got a little interference from Johan West. Johan bumped him as he was going for the interception and caused him to drop it there. But, that ball's hanging in the air, Gary, and these York players got a chance to run under that.
And Lowry's been taking some shots, Gary. He took another one right there.
Yeah, they're putting he's taking a lot of hits tonight. He's a tough guy, Gary. He has stood in there and taken all the shots.
So Lowry back in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Here comes Ben Cooper on the rush. There's that little screen pass, and this time York had it read all the way, Gary. Josiah Eddings was sitting back there waiting on that one, and they couldn't find anybody to get it to.
No, and, they had the back Russell out there in the flat, but Josiah with him, and the quarterback saw it, threw it over his head, actually, and lucky that wasn't picked off, but it did fall incomplete.
So York now with a 35-13 lead. If you just tuned in, York led it one time 28-0. Then the Eagles finally get on the scoreboard. York come right back, took an onside kick, and took it all the way to the house. And it was 35-7. And then the Eagles get a fortuitous bounce on a what should have been an intercepted ball and take it in the end zone. And now they have it back after an onside kick in a 3rd and about 10 for the first down. Lowry in the shotgun takes the snap. Here comes the Dragons rush. They hit him just as he released it, and they got out there. He's going to catch it, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
That's Williams again on the catch. So he caught that between the two York defenders. That was Lathan Drake and number 44 who's in the game here, and I don't have a 44. So
Yeah, I don't have a 44 on my roster. I'm not sure who that was. But it was, Gary, that one's another one of those that York allowed really quick. And now it's a 35-20 ball game. If they score here, it's a 2-touchdown game. Still 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, the quick strike, and another Lowry got hit hard again and just didn't get the ball away, but he threw it right on the money to the receiver who hauled it in for the touchdown. And York got tightened up here. There's still 3 minutes to go, and they've scored 2 touchdowns in a very short period of time.
And now Lowry will go back, and we got timeout called by the Signal Mountain team, as with 3 minutes to go, it's 35-20 York.
Right now at Pizza Hut.
Get 2 medium 2-topping Pizza Hut pizzas
For just $5.99 each.
The perfect pair.
At the perfect price.
Order however you want.
Delivery or carry out.
Call or click.
Get one for me.
And me.
Or just you and yours.
Everyone gets what they want.
So get your perfect pair now.
2 medium 2-topping pizzas.
Just $5.99 each.
Because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ask for this offer. Additional charge for extra cheese, select crust types, and additional toppings. Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges, and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charge is not a driver tip.
Well, Gary, the Eagles, somebody forgot to tell the Eagles this game was over with.
Yeah, they did. A couple of quick touchdowns here. They're lined up going for 2 to try to get the extra point back here, and so not sure why. I mean, it's a 2-score game, so they kicked the extra point, so the point really doesn't help them.
Okay, actually, Gary, shouldn't the score be 35-19?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I started to say it should be 19 because but they've already given them an extra point there.
Yeah, so they're going for 2 here and to make it 21. So yeah, I got confused. There we go. We got confused by the scoreboard just a little bit, but going for 2 to make this a 2-touchdown game.
So 3 minutes left to go in this one, and the Eagles have put up 19 points here in the fourth quarter. And now the quarterback, Lowry, going to throw it down there. Got a man out there, and that's going to be good. He caught it in the corner, and it's a 2-point conversion. And now it's 35-21, and York on top.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435. A proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
Well, Gary, the Eagles trying to make a valiant comeback in this one. Got 3 minutes to go. You can bet York's going to have the good hands team up front this time. They let that one go between them, and they've got to make a play on this kick.
Yeah, they do. It's time to make a play, time to shut this down. They've scored a couple of touchdowns here, something, Coach Wright won't be real happy about, but on the other side of this, the goal line defense, except for that 2-point conversion, has been really good tonight. And, if you're Coach Wright, you got to be happy. You've changed their game plan. They can't stand back there and throw the ball, and they've had to move the pocket. They've had to throw screens, and that's things that they can do, but probably things they really don't want to do. And, so York has effectively changed the outcome of the game with their defensive pressure tonight.
And now we're going to see a little bit better hands, people. We see Dadrick Phillips, the tight end, over here on the left side. They got Landry Clefew over here, and it looks like they're going to kick it toward that way again as up will come Payne. Payne to kick it. Payne going to kick it, and that's going to hit, and going to take a high bounce, and York's going to bat it around, and it's on the ground, and it's out of bounds. It'll be York ball, I believe, Gary, as York may have got a great big break on that one.
Yeah, that ball bouncing around over there never did get out of bounds, Gary. And
Dadrick Phillips come up with it.
Dadrick Phillips come up with it. That ball bounced 3 or 4 times before Phillips able to haul it in.
That looked like a bad game of hot potato there for a minute, Gary.
It did. York fortunately gets on it, though, and this is going to be marked about the 46-yard line.
Gary, a couple of first downs, and this ball game should be over.
Yeah, they've used a couple of timeouts. So I don't know. They may have two. I know they used at least one on that one. I think they used another one. So
I think so too. I think you're right. I think they only got one left. If I'm not mistaken.
So York effectively run this clock about out here. They don't get a first down.
So York will come up. They've got it 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Lefeview takes a snap, hands it off up the middle to Cooper, and Cooper going to get up over midfield.
Yeah.
Ben going to get about
5 yards on that one. So, 4. They're going to mark it right at midfield. So a 4-yard gain. Yeah, second down 6.
I'm looking right down on it. He actually got closer to the 49. I don't know why they marked him down all the way back at the 50.
Looks like the lineman on the other side of the field did mark it on the 49, but this lineman over here marked it on the 50. So be 2nd and 6 for York.
York down to 2:15 left to go in the ball game. Now just needing to run the clock out. They bring Headings in. Lefeview going to wait till he sees the arm go up. There it goes. Now we'll get under center. Got a man in motion. Hands it off to Headings. Headings straight ahead. Headings going to be dumped right about the well, they're going to mark him all the way back. Gary, I'm not sure.
46. They're going to mark him 46-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Gosh, that was another one of those situations where Headings looked like he got up at least to the 45, but they mark him at the 46, and we're going to should go under the 2-minute mark.
No,
but they're going to call timeout.
Yeah.
Timeout on the field with 2:01 left to go. It's 35-21, York.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's First Volunteer for you.
Make it rain. We're right here with the band. They're making it rain out here. Yes. We got 2:01 left to go in this one, Gary, and York gets the first down here, and they can run this clock out.
Yeah, it's third. They call it 3rd and 1. It's really about 2 here in York. You got to think 2 plays to get a 1.5 yards here, and should be able to do that.
And now everybody, and thank you, Eagles. As
there was the gift. So York going to get the first down. They're going to be able to run this out.
So there's another one of those hallmark moments, folks. When you care to give the very best, give us 5 yards, and we'll take it every time. Offsides encroachment by the defense, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Dragons. And that should pretty well seal the deal, Gary. And actually, this game should have been sealed away earlier.
Yeah, it should have. Made it kind of interesting here in the last 8 minutes. York able to get the last onside kick, and they're going to run it out here, Gary.
So 1:45. We're a minute and 45 seconds away from heading on to round 2 of the TSSAA playoffs. And now the arm goes up. Lefeview will get under center. And now the main thing's hang on that football as Headings hurdles over a couple of players, gets about 5 or 4 on the carry. They're going to give him 4.
You don't do that right now. You're running the clock out. Don't try to hurdle, guys. Yeah. Just get what you can, get down, protect the ball, and run this thing out.
I'm not sure, Gary, if I don't just get down on the knee and do my kneel down on this and end it here, because a couple of kneel downs, this ball game's over.
Yeah, I think I would get in the victory formation right here and just take a knee on this and let's go to the house.
And not get anybody hurt on these last few plays. That'd be a terrible thing to happen if you get somebody hurt on this last few. And now under center goes Lefeview. We're under a minute to go in this one. They'll hand it off to Cole Cooper right side. Cole Cooper still running. Cole Cooper going to be finally dragged down, and we got a rag on the play.
We've seen plenty of those tonight, Gary.
Yeah.
There's been no lack for flags tonight.
Flag on the play.
And that's going to be, I don't know who that's going to.
I don't have a clue what they're calling here. There was no blockers out there, so I don't.
It's going against the Eagles, though. Face mask again. Gary,
the 5-yarder this time, though, not the 15.
So it will be Signal Mountain with the penalty, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Dragons at the 30-yard line as the clock goes away. They'll have to snap it one more time here. Now maybe getting that victory formation and not risk anybody getting hurt with a handoff or something.
Yeah, I think it's time. They've called a flag here, and I'm not sure what this one is.
Unsportsmanlike. Evidently, somebody from Signal Mountain had something to say about something.
Yeah, they are. They're not taking anything right now, so that'll move it down to the 15-yard line. And if they start the clock here, York may have to snap it.
Yeah,
I'd just rather not snap it again.
Me too.
Let's just end this.
They're going to start the clock, and there's 30 seconds left to go in this one. York's on their way to the second round of the TSSAA playoffs. We'll be either at Upperman or Loudon will be at York next week. So we'll see what happens here. As up will come the Dragons, and we're down to 13 seconds. I don't even think they have to snap it. They're going to go over and shake the hands of the official. And that's going to be your ball games. The Dragons of York Institute, they win. They stay in. They're headed to round 2 of the TSSAA playoffs as they win it here tonight by a final of 35-21. Back in just a few minutes to take a look at this one.
With the recent sale of your local Fred's Pharmacy to Walgreens pending FTC approval, here at MetaThrift Pharmacy, we want to make it easy for current Fred's Pharmacy customers to transfer your medications. If you would like to continue doing business with a locally owned independent pharmacy that treats you like family, then we invite you to transfer your Fred's Pharmacy prescriptions to MetaThrift Pharmacy. Hello, my name is Jinky Stevens. I am blessed to now be part of the MetaThrift family. You will love the personal touch of a locally owned pharmacy where we treat our customers just like family. Come by and see us or call 931-879-8133 and we'll do the rest.
When it comes to your business, you need technology that supports your productivity and performance goals. With Twin Lakes Advanced Business Systems, you'll get customized solutions to enhance your business, including options such as broadband speeds up to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megabits per second. Metro Ethernet, SIP trunks, phone systems, enhanced voicemail and conferencing services, web hosting, and more. Visit one of our 7 local offices or call 931-268-2151 to see what Twin Lakes can do for your business today.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op, bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer, to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and the gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
Jamestown Regional has always been committed to providing the highest quality of patient care. We work hard every day to contribute to the health of our patients and to the well-being of our community by providing many jobs and services. Now we are proud to be serving our community once again as Jamestown Regional Medical Center. JRMC, a Renova Health company, will continue the tradition of providing quality care, comprehensive services, and an experienced team of physicians and caregivers.
He's on the 30. He's on the 20. He's on the 10. It's a touchdown.
There's nothing like football. The lights, the cheers of the crowd, and getting a chance to see our local athletes and kids give it all they've got. Come to a game. Support our local schools. Upper Cumberland Federal Credit Union, a better way to bank. Federally insured by NCUA. Online at ucfcu.org.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. When you schedule your fall maintenance with Condition Heating and Cooling, they will clean, calibrate, test, and ensure your heating system is in proper working order. Let them find and correct issues before they become major problems. Or you can take advantage of discounts up to $1,000 on new energy-saving American Standard heating and air conditioning units. See dealer for details. Offer won't last long, so call to schedule your appointment today.
Call 879-5909. Conditioned heating and cooling.
Americans have fought around the world for our freedom. They accepted the responsibility to defend America and uphold our values when duty called. Today, the brave men and women of our armed forces are working around the world to ensure our freedom and safety. The willingness of our veterans to sacrifice for America has earned them our respect and gratitude. Thank you, veterans, for your many sacrifices, your love of country, and your dedication to the principles of liberty and justice for all. Paid for by Friends of John Mark Wendell.
The kids are back in school and the weather's turning cooler, and that can only mean one thing. Flu season will start soon. This year, Hall Family Pharmacy wants to help you fight the flu. Getting a flu shot means that you are 60% less likely to get the flu virus. This year at Hall Family Pharmacy, we are excited to make a $1 donation to the local children's shopping spree for each flu shot we give. So don't let the flu knock you out, and come by Hall Family Pharmacy for your annual flu shot. You won't be the only one glad you did.
And back here at Signal Mountain, where York advances on to round 2 of the playoffs as they beat Signal Mountain here at Signal Mountain 35-21. Gary, close the score, a little closer than the game actually was.
Yeah, it was 28-0 at the end of the third quarter, and 35-7, and they got a couple of touchdowns late. One on a pass that probably should have been intercepted, and then another one after they got an onside kick, and where it was onside kicking and had a loose ball over here that was bounced 3 or 4 times, and to get that one, they've got the ball down 2 scores, 3 minutes to go, and had just scored 2 touchdowns pretty quick. So you don't know, but York got on the ball and able to run the clock out.
So York comes up with a win. They stay in. They're going to move on to the second round. Welcome to the Progressive Postgame Show. Don't go away. We'll be back to talk with Coach Darwin Wright or Derek Samber, whoever's coaching us this year, according to our PA announcer. But we'll be back to talk with him in just a moment. We'll also take a look at some stats, and we'll take a look at the road ahead right after this.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the parent-teachers group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
Well, Gary, we said before the game you got to win to stay in, and that's just exactly what the Dragons did.
Yeah, they dominated this game through, they were in control through the first half, but they absolutely dominated the third quarter. And, couple of opportunities, let them get a couple of scores, but never really in doubt here. And, York, outstanding performance. I thought the defense was outstanding tonight. They gave up a couple of touchdowns in garbage time, but other than that, it was I think, as good a performance as York's had this year.
Well, York with a huge win on this one now, Gary. That means we're going to advance on. Now, as we said, if Upperman wins, we'll be at Upperman. If Loudon wins, I think we might be at home next week.
Yeah, that would be the case. And right now, I think Upperman win that game 23-14 at halftime. But, it'll be one or the other next week. And in our heart of hearts, we expect we'll be down at Upperman next week for a big rematch with those guys.
And that's a game, Gary, that York, if they've got one word that describes it, it would be redemption.
Really, it is. It'll be a redemption game. It's a region rivalry, and it'll be a hard-fought game. If you're York, you got to get off to a better start than you did the last time.
And we see Coach Darwin Wright making his way up here, so let's take a quick timeout, and then we'll be back to talk with him right after this.
It's football time on the mountain. At Progressive Savings Bank, we know running your small business is a lot like coaching a team. You call the plays that drive your business towards success, and we're your #1 fan. After all, you provide the products, the services, and jobs that keep our local economy moving forward. We partner with small businesses to help you reach your financial goals with free business checking and flexible financing to help operate and grow your business with the right financial equipment to keep you in the game. This is Mark Justice wishing our York Dragons a successful football season. We are proud once again to sponsor Dragon First Downs. Progressive Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Reaching higher, building tomorrow today. Looking forward, reaching higher.
back here at Signal Mountain High School. We're joining me now. I got Coach Derek Samber of the Livingston Academy Wildcats. I actually got Coach Derwin right, but Coach, we're going to.
I'm going to take part of that as an insult. I'm not going to say what.
But
no,
we've got to talk to get some better
Hey,
better lineups or something. They had the wrong coach, wrong team. But the thing about it is, we came out with the right score.
Well, you know, I just say, hey, Coach Samber's done a great job over Stone this year. They were playing tonight too, so you know, I don't know how the Livingston came in there after that part, but anyway, we'll say York Institute and whoever's coaching them. So.
But a big win for your guys here tonight, Coach. You pretty much dominated this ball game. You gave up a few late scores, but this game you guys dominated, especially defensively.
Well, we did defensively. I think we had a great game plan. You know, we've it took us a while, and we finally got in this forefront, and I think we got our people in the right place. We've got an inside push and an outside push with Cole Cooper and Daedric Phillips and Josiah in the middle, and Thomas Cooper just doing a great job. Our linebackers tonight played awesome. You know, we gave up two late long passes. One of them, Barge was right where he needed to be, broke on it, just went through his hands, you know, and you hate to see that happen, but, you know, he's right where he needs to be. The second one, we're down third team corner, and we've got a kid in there that we know is a pretty good athlete, but he's just got thrown in the fire and said, hey, just lock on with him and try to run with him, and not fair for him, but you know, up front they just kept doing the job and hitting the quarterback and causing mistakes and causing turnovers, and you know, just found a way there at the end to just stop that. And I said, guys, all we got to do is get the ball back. Big fight for it here on the onside kick. I think Daedric Phillips come up with it, not exactly sure, but, you know, just a huge play. And then all we had to do was just be strong and run the clock out, and our guys got it done.
How big was those two goal line stances down here when they made it inside the 10?
They were awesome. I mean, just one long pass that Drake just come from the other side of the field. And I'll want to, you know, somebody from down here was on that coach thing saying we didn't have any athletes. And, you know, we don't have a stable athletes. We got some athletes. We got some guys that can run. Thomas Miller can run. Lathan Drake can run. Cole Cooper can run. Josiah Headings can run. I mean, we got some guys that can run. And I'm leaving some guys out on that. But, you know, it's an awesome play for him. And then the defense bowed their back and just did a great job getting pressure quarterback, hitting that little run back, just not letting him get going at all tonight. And you know, I'm proud of what they did. The screen they got on us, their first score was really, you know, we were selling out, we sold out, and they caught us in a full out blitz, and you know that's going to happen sometimes. And our safety just didn't get to where he needed to be, but you know, overall, I think we had a great defensive game plan for him.
Coach, your offense moved the ball pretty much at will. When you needed to, you made some great big pass plays. We saw those plays to Daedric Phillips. He had a big night tonight.
Daedric did. Daedric's a smart tight end. He knows to find the opening seams and stuff. And, you know, Landrick really believes in him. Late in the game, though, we ran a bootleg left, and we had Lathan Drake standing in the corner end zone wide open, and we missed that. We've got to always see that first. But, you know, at that time, I think in you know, Landrick's eyes was, let's get the first down, and he was looking for Daedric, pretty reliable target, and tried to force one in and really should have went to the deep route. But, you know, we can learn and look on film and see that. But I'm just proud of him. And I'll tell you, Josiah Headings had a breakout game for us tonight. You know, that first onside, they came towards our bench, and I think when he scooped that and scored, they were like, hold on, we're not coming this way again. And they got the next one coming the other way. So we took a timeout, and we got our personnel lined up, and guys just, you know, it's a will to win and got the football, and we ran the clock out, and I'm proud of this team. You know, I don't know where we're going. I know at half, I think it was 23-14 Upperman. So we'll find that out. But anywhere we're going, we're happy to be going in the second round, and got to get well. We got a few banged up tonight.
Who all got injured?
Well, Thomas Miller early hyperextended that ankle. He got tackled from behind, and his ankle got pushed down, and you know, so that's going to be an ankle sprain, just the way it happened. And you know, an ankle sprain, a lot of times the best thing to do is just keep moving on it. He kept fighting and trying to play some for us, and he's just a warrior out there, and he did a great job for us. We didn't use him at all on day, but we used him in wing back because he just knows his blocks and assignments so well. And but he's going to be a sore young man. I think by maybe next week, by Thursday or Friday, we can have him back full speed, hopefully.
Coach, we talked about your defense done, but you had to be impressed in that third quarter. You held the ball the entire third quarter. They had it for maybe 5 seconds in that third quarter.
Well, that's what, in the half, I said, guys, the thing about it is they're going to kick off to us. Our offense, if we keep executing, we keep finding our fullback because we're getting 2 and 3 yards every time. As long as we don't make any penalties and get ourselves backed up, we can get that 3, 6, 9, go for it on fourth, and just keep that clock running and limit their possessions. And I said, go in the fourth quarter with a good lead, and then just ride that thing out. And they did it. They executed. I got Cole wanting to bounce outside a little bit on it, and the thing about it was, the outside was going to be there, but he had to turn up first behind his fullback's block because they were stacking 2 guys outside, and as he come around, he couldn't see both those guys. And then later on, he did. He got us about 5, 6 yards straight up the gut, and the next time he tucked in, popped it outside, and it's he just keeps learning more about how to run a football and seeing it, and I'm just proud of our team tonight. Now, our offensive line too. I want to take my hat off to them. They did a great job.
Coach, it'll be either now if you guys if Upperman wins, you'll be at Upperman. If Loudon wins, Loudon.
Well, let's see. Yeah, we would be at our place. Yeah,
it'd be at home. So we're gonna hope for Loudon, but
absolutely. But it's
if it's Upperman, I guess the word I'm looking for is redemption.
Well, not necessarily that in my mind. It's a matter of going down there more prepared to play, more prepared for the atmosphere that we went into. I just think they had a great game plan. Their coaching staff did an awesome job defensing us, and we just did not take what I think we were being given in that game. I'll put it like that, and a lot of that's on me. But defensively, we were making the same mistake over and over. And when the halftime come, we fixed that, and they didn't score the second half. So that gives me hope to come out, and we just got to make sure defensively we're filling our gaps, we're doing the right things, and not feeling like, okay, they're just a passing team, because they're not. They're a very good run football team. And I think we had in our mind that we had to stop the pass too much. And I was kind of worried about that tonight because I knew coming in this game, this was a team that could throw the ball. But I felt like with the way their sets were that we could get to the quarterback, and that was the case, and we got to him, and we put together a couple of different blitzes this week, and we studied the film. We've seen some formations that we felt like we could get to, and our guys just did a great job executing it.
Well, Coach, as we said earlier in the week, you got to win to stay in.
That's right.
But I'm going to use a little irony here. We're at Signal Mountain, but you guys showed them what Mountain Tough was.
Well, I'm just proud of our kids. Last year we supposedly sprinkled our field and left the sprinkler on. It was winterized 2 weeks before, so that was kind of the running joke this week that hopefully their fire truck would be here, and when it come rolling around the corner over there, all the boys started laughing, and said they're going to water the field, Coach, and we just got a kick out of it. But our guys felt like that, with those comments that people were thinking we didn't win that game outright, that we had cheated in some way, which we absolutely did not. It had rained all week, and we couldn't even get outside practice part of it, and same deal here, slick field, and, we just came out and executed, and I'm proud of our team and proud of our coaching staff.
Well, Coach, we want to thank you for joining us.
Hey, I want to say one other thing. I think the crowd that followed us, buddy, they were loud and proud over there. I appreciate them following us the way they did tonight.
Hey, midway through the third quarter, you thought you was a Johnny Depp movie the way these guys were filing out of the play.
Oh, yeah.
But, Coach, we appreciate you joining us, and we're looking forward to next week, round 2.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a quick time out, and then we'll be back to wrap this one up in just a moment.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the parent-teachers group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We
And back here where York has moved on to round 2 of the tournament as they will take on either Upperman or Loudon next week. Gary, it's time now for our Hall's Family Pharmacy Player of the Game.
Hello, this is Philip Hall with Hall Family Pharmacy. We are proud to feature this broadcast Player of the Game. For winning service that you can be proud of, choose Hall Family Pharmacy.
And Gary, give us our Player of the Game for tonight.
Well, I think, we're going to have co-players of the game, Gary, and Coach Trott mentioned both of them, but the players of the game tonight will be Cole Cooper and Josiah Headings, and Josiah Headings had 15 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown, but probably more of what got him the nod, he had he was in on 4 total tackles, but had 2 sacks and was in the backfield of Signal Mountain all night long.
And he also had that kickoff return for a touchdown, and he batted down a pass tonight.
Yeah, he did. And then Cole Cooper had 14 carries for 48 yards and a touchdown. And he about won sole player of the game. He ended up with 10 total tackles, had 4 sacks tonight, and another tackle for loss. So 5 total tackles for loss. 4 quarterback sacks tonight. York as a team has 6, 4 for Cooper, 2 for Headings, and several knockdowns, and those guys are the co-players of the game tonight.
Well, I'm sure that quarterback Drew Lowry is going to have nightmares about this one, folks. He'll probably think about this one for a long time. But, Gary, now it's moving on. We got either Upperman or Loudon. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, they get bigger as you go on, and, the teams get better, too, and it'll be a quality opponent either way, whether you have to go to Upperman play or whether Loudon comes to the Dragon Pit next Friday night.
So congratulations to York Dragons. They win. They stay in. That's all you got to do, folks. Win and stay in, and that's what York did tonight. So be sure to join us next week. We'll be either at Upperman or at home against Loudon. We'll have to wait and see who wins that one. Right now, Upperman's on top of that one. But until then, it's time for football playoffs here in the state of Tennessee, and we will see you next Friday night as we have round 2. And once again, you got to win to stay in. I want to thank Aaron Brown on camera 1. This video being brought to you by the good folks at Meta Thrift Pharmacy. We appreciate them very, very much as they sponsor the video coverage tonight because TSSAA likes to get that money, folks. But we thank them for that. And until Friday night when it's round 2 of the playoffs, I'm Gary Clark for Gary Hall. See you at the game.